Good afternoon and welcome to Hill Stadium in Saco. Jay Harper along with Jeff Harper. This afternoon, another intense playoff-type game with 3-2 Thornton Academy facing 3-2 Portland. Both teams in a must-win situation as the playoff picture starts to develop, Jeff. You see a lot of teams with chances to get in there. 3 losses might get you in, but this is a big one for both teams.
Certainly is a big one for the Thornton Academy Golden Trojans, and once again for the 6th straight game, we are blessed with beautiful weather here today. We are the Blues Brothers today, the black and blue games that these Portland Trojan matchups have been over the years, always hard-hitting. Of course, the Bulldogs are a young but very dangerous team. They can run the football, they can move the football. The Trojans, we'll see if their defense can come back today and just keep on picking up the speed like they have been the last couple of weeks.
Westbrook has lost to Biddeford and Cheverus, 2 tough teams, and then they've come back to beat teams like, not Westbrook, they didn't lose to Westbrook, they lost to Cheverus and Biddeford. They've beaten Westbrook, Deering, and they've done a good job at, getting their thing going. They beat Sanford 28-23, a game that I saw, and that's my only measuring stick. A very close game up in Sanford at Cobb Stadium. Of course, last week Thornton blowing out Sanford at home, so that's the difference, the home and away type thing. So we really don't know what type of game we're going to see this afternoon from Portland. They're a strong team, they're a young team with a great junior class, a lot of juniors playing for them. Darling, the quarterback, he's only a junior. You got Napolitano, a great running back, only a junior. They have a lot of talent, and they run the ball well on the ground.
If the Trojans come out timid, then it would definitely be a really hard-fought game. But if the Trojans have got the intensity with them like they had last week, it's a long day for Portland because the offensive machinery of the Thornton Academy Golden Trojans was really moving last week. The defense was reacting very nicely to everything that the Sanford Redskins could throw at it. The multiple offense just didn't have any effect on that Trojan defense. They stayed at home. They played well. If they come with the same type of ball club that they had last week, it's a long day for the Bulldogs.
And it is a beautiful day, once again, 70-degree temperatures. And as you say, Jeff, Thornton has put together their defense the last 3 weeks now. Against South Portland in the second half, they shut them down. Against EL and against Sanford, the defense has started to gel. They've got some players back. They got some players doing a great job. Justin Doobie, Jeff DeRocha last week playing very well, and Doug Willett doing a good job. These kids have been keys now, stopping the run to the outsides, which has been Thornton's problem. Portland throws a lot of counters at them. Do you think the linebackers and the front men will be ready for that this afternoon?
Well, they've got to stay at home, no doubt about that. The Trojan defense has been gaining a lot of confidence. Ever since that second half against South Portland, they were looking good, and they seem to be getting better and better each week. And today, with a beautiful day like this and solid footing, it's put them together and knock the heads.
Now, Thornton Academy's offense has put together some points, 33, 34 against EL, and then 49 last week. Laveris doing his normal outstanding job. Just incredible what he's been doing the last couple weeks. And now Tom Langstaff has started to become the big part of the offense that we thought he would be. Coach Agresti's going to him on the outside pitches, and he's also going to him on the pass.
Trojan offense, we've only seen half of their potential. They've got a lot of weapons. We've seen a taste of this. The outside, the receivers have been open all year long. If Matt Cook can hit those receivers today, they're explosive. They could just run this team right out of here if they wanted to.
Both teams are on a roll, playing good football the last 3 weeks. We don't know what team we'll see from either team. Kind of a heckle and jive thing. But 3-2 Thornton Academy getting ready to face off against 3-2 Portland High Bulldogs. A beautiful day in Saco at Hill Stadium. We'll be right back with starting lineups and today's opening kickoff on CTV 30. Welcome back to Hill Stadium in Saco. Jay Harper along with Jeff Harper. 3-2 Thornton Academy facing 3-2 Portland Bulldogs as Thornton Academy's marching band enters Hill Stadium. Great afternoon once again for football. We're 6 for 6, Jeff. A good Friday night up in EL and the early rain against South Portland, but other than that, we've had fantastic weather. And once again, sunshine, a slight breeze, temperatures in the 70s today.
Actually, we got quite a breeze blowing right now. It's coming right out of the southeast, southwest actually, blowing across this field, and could affect the punting and the extra point or field goal attempts this afternoon, and definitely the long pass could be affected by this breeze.
3-2 Portland. Of course, the 2 losses against Biddeford and Cheverus, they got blown out by Biddeford to start off the season. Then they played Cheverus very tough, only losing 14-7, and their other wins coming against Westbrook, Deering, and Sanford. Thornton Academy, on the other hand, losing to South Portland and Cheverus, the common opponent there, and Cheverus both losing to those 2 teams, and then beating Sanford, Lewiston.
Well, they are certainly the ones that they're the ones that knocked out Whipple. Am I right?
They sure did. Whipple went down late in the first half and sat out the second half, and that, of course, helped Portland's cause at staying in that football game with Cheverus. Big game this afternoon is Cheverus-Lewiston. That looms rather large. Your thoughts on that game, Jeff?
Well, it's at the stadium. That's going for Cheverus. I see that most analysts think that Cheverus has the nod with their very talented offense and defense, even without Josh Whipple. But of course, we've seen Lewiston, and we know that they're a big club and can really move the football on the ground. So it's anybody's ball game.
I actually like Lewiston in that one, and with or without Whipple, because I think just Lewiston has really gelled since their opening season loss to Thornton, a game they really should have won. We know that. We did the game. And they're a big club, a strong club. They come in at 4-1, and Cheverus, of course, 5-0. Biddeford playing at Massabesic this afternoon, and Marshwood going against Sanford, other contests around York County. This one here, though, Thornton Academy has really stepped into this season, Jeff, and every game has been a playoff-type game because you just can't afford to lose. They've had their 2 losses. A loss here would just crush their chances to get into postseason play. And the same with Portland, because they still have South Portland on their schedule to finish up the season. And Thornton Academy, again, traveling to Marshwood next week, and then to Biddeford the last game of the season. So those games will be tough contests and tough ones to win, so you can't afford a loss here to go in at 3-3. That would just about wipe you out.
Well, it certainly would be a gift for the Bulldogs to think that they could sneak into the playoffs, and of course a game well played here today would really put a boost to their morale if they could knock off the Trojans this afternoon. They're a very young team. They've only got 3 seniors in their starting offensive lineup, and I'll just run down that lineup for you right now. At center is Joe Johnson. He's a junior, 6'1", 175. Mike DeMillo at guard, a junior, 6'1", 185, and Steve Gorham, one of the seniors in that line, is 5'10", 200. At the tackle positions, Joe McLeod, the other senior, 6'2", 200. The other tackle, Steve Stinson, a junior, 6'4", 260. And at the split end, Mike Dante, a junior, 5'10", 155. The quarterback, a junior, Mark Darling. He's 5'8", 140. Scott Alexander, Mike Elliott, and Nick Napolitano in the backfield. The only senior there is number 33, Mike Elliott, the fullback. We'll see plenty of him this afternoon as he plays both ways. Nick Napolitano is a junior, 5'9", 165. He'll switch off at fullback and tailback as Elliott and Napolitano kind of move in and out. And Scott Alexander is a sophomore, 5'8", 155.
It's a great lineup. Their backfield is very talented. Nick Napolitano, of course, playing last year against Thornton Academy and doing a great job as only a sophomore, now a junior, and he's got a lot of experience. He's a quick back, and like you said, they move him back and forth to fullback and tailback, so you kind of get used to one guy slamming at you quickly out of the fullback slot. Next thing you know, it's another guy, a different type of runner. Elliott and Napolitano, slightly different runners. Elliott, of course, the faster runner, and Napolitano a little bit tougher coming through the hole. So, you know, you get both those guys switching off and on you, and they run a lot of counter plays. Alexander gets used a lot out of his wingback's position, and they can throw the ball. Darling is not a big quarterback, only 5'8", 140, but he does do a lot of sprint outs, and he gets the ball out to Dante as much as possible. So they have a lot of things going for them offensively. Their problem is, Jeff, they have so many people that go both ways. Once again, they are a very young team, very talented team, but they have a lot of kids going both ways, 7 going both offensively and defensively. We've said it this year. I don't know if it's really been a factor as much as we might like to think it would be with the warm weather and the kids going both ways, wearing down late in the contest, but it could be a factor once again today. You can hear the breeze blowing in our microphones. It is rather breezy at Hill Stadium in Saco today, so it could affect the passing games of both Thornton and Portland. And looking over to Thornton's side of the lineup, we'll do their defense for you. Starting at defensive tackle will be number 76 today, wearing the number 76, losing his other number 62 jersey, Justin Doobie. On the right side, defensive tackle number 68, Ed Presby, only a junior, 6 foot, 205 pounds. At the right defensive end, it's Kevin Gobiel. He's a senior, 6 feet, 175. At left defensive end, number 82, Troy Karen, 6 feet, 185 pound junior. And at the outside linebacker slot, Greg Parity, 5'9", 160 senior. On the other outside, it's Doug Willett, who's been playing outstanding as of late, 6 foot, 170 pound junior. And the middle linebackers, of course, the 2 hard-hitting pair, Art Laveris, the junior, and Guy Pickard, the senior quad captain, 6 foot, 180 goes Pickard, as those two both go both ways. Also seeing action is number 45, Jeff DeRocha. He'll be alternating in there with Laveris. At the safety, number 42, Ryan Lasur, 5'8", 145 pound junior. At the right side, number 12, Craig Agresti, 5'11", 165 pound junior. And over on the left side, quad captain, the very extremely talented back. We've had so much fun the last few weeks seeing him get going. Tom Langstaff, 5'8", 150 pound senior. Langstaff certainly did have a great week last week on special teams and catching the football, and he should have had another touchdown when he ran out the right corner and dropped the football when he was all alone running in from 20 yards out. But just a superb week for Langstaff.
Tom is definitely going to see more of that football, I think, this afternoon as they try to spread out this Portland defense. And if the Trojans are able to hold on to the football and dominate that football, the Bulldogs are really going to feel it. With 7 men going both ways, it's the defense that if you wear down that defense, then they've got very little time on offense to get out there and do their thing, and that's when they're going to feel it.
Well, last night I had a dream, believe it or not, about this contest in my sleep, and it was 20-7 when the score that I finally woke up on. The game wasn't over yet, so I don't know the outcome for sure, but the Trojans were up 20-0, and Portland scored a touchdown late with a long pass, and I remember Justin Doobie having an outstanding game, and it's quite funny that I said that because last week he had a great game early, and then DeRocher came on, so the gutsy player went to DeRocher. So it would be fitting if Doobie would have another outstanding game and get him one of those gutsy players of the game and a gut bomb sandwich. But that was my dream last night. Kind of funny. I woke up remembering. Up here in the broadcast booth, we took a break too. Jeff went down on the field and weren't calling the game late in the game. Why or how, I don't really know, but it should be a great contest this afternoon. Both teams 3-2, both teams needing this one to continue on their quest to get into postseason play. A very balanced league this year, a lot of parity and a lot of good teams. And high school football continues on CTV 30, a BTV sports presentation as the Trojans take the field first with their banner. And they go out to center field. And
over the years, we've had some great matchups between the Portland Bulldogs and the Thornton Academy Golden Trojans, some very hard-hitting contests. I'd like to go back to 1976 when the Bulldogs, an undefeated team, came down here to play, and the Thornton Academy defense, every man was smaller than the Portland Bulldogs fullback that day, tailback Ed Bogdanovich, and that defense played so spirited and hard-hitting that there was nothing the Bulldogs could do. They went away with a loss. It was a very hard-fought defensive struggle.
I remember that game on Monday afternoon, the rain out on Saturday, attending that one, watching you guys play. What a great contest, sure was. And also, wasn't Thornton Academy involved in a playoff game with Portland in 1986, the year that Thornton Academy went all the way? I think they played here at Hill Stadium and beat Portland at home in the playoffs, which was a hard-hitting contest. They have had some great games over the years, and Portland is ready to play.
Well, even going back to 74, when that Thornton Academy football team went to the state championship against Waterville that year, Portland put a big scare into the Trojans across the way. At home, the Trojans had the home field advantage, but just got out of that with a 30-22 win.
And of course, we've noted over the last 2 seasons how poorly Thornton Academy plays at Portland Stadium, Fitzpatrick Stadium. So very fortunate this year that the Trojans have them at home. They had the whitewash against Cheverus earlier in the season at Fitzpatrick. So that is a big factor this afternoon. Thornton Academy really having things rolling. The defense has started to gel. The offense putting points on the board the last 2 weeks. Laveris just running so strong last week. Straight up and down, running over people, scoring 25 points last week with 3 touchdowns and 7 for 7 on the extra points. I meant to ask Coach Agresti if he remembers anyone doing that, because for some reason I do remember like 3 years ago someone did that. Maybe John Gus used to kick him. I'm not really sure. But just an outstanding afternoon for Laveris, for the whole team. Everyone that got in that contest last week played extremely well. Langstaff, Cook had a great game.
The Trojans need to score first. I see that as a key factor in their last couple of victories. When they get on the board first and get that momentum rolling for them, it really seems to give them that added push that they need.
Starting lineups being introduced for Thornton Academy. And actually, I said Greg Parody will start outside linebacker. It will be number 32, Jim McLeod. Parody sticking to the offense and seeing limited action now on the defense with the emergence of Jim McLeod back into the lineup. But he's been playing outstanding the last 2 or 3 weeks as well since his return from the broken finger. Quad captains meeting at midfield. And we don't know if Thornton has lost a coin toss this year, but I didn't think or remember them doing it. We'll see this afternoon. Actually, here it is. Portland will receive the opening kickoff. And the Trojans
will get it underway with number 33's foot, Art Laveris. And with this, and the national anthem coming up, we're going to take a short pause and be right back on CTV 30 right after this.
While the Thornton Academy Band, in the direction of Mr. David Berthiaume, plays our national anthem.
Beautiful job honoring America by the Thornton Academy Marching Band. A great rendition of the national anthem, and we're set for action at Hill Stadium. 3-2, Thornton Academy facing 3-2 Portland Bulldogs. This game is a must-win situation for both teams. We should see some hard hitting and great intensity out there this afternoon.
Wind coming straight across the football field, so could be troublesome for either direction.
The wind is blowing from the Thornton side over towards Portland. You see the flagpoles are straight out as you look across. Great week last week. Homecoming, Thornton Academy 49-7 over Sanford. A lot of fun, a lot of great highlights in that contest as we watched them roll last week on CTV 30. Laveris coming over to the side, checking his helmet. Looks like he might need a new chin strap. Gets a different helmet. Portland coming off a tough win over Deering last week. Not the most impressive of victories, but that's a big rivalry going way back, so Deering playing fired up football.
Well, all those Portland schools playing very close, with Chevrolet just getting by the Bulldogs as well. So they, when they play for pride, they can give it a little bit more. We've got Cardona far to the far side, deep. Alexander and Elliott also back there deep for the Bulldogs.
Scott Alexander, number 34, the sophomore, in the middle. Mike Elliott, very dangerous return man. Across the line for Portland, they have Joe McLeod, number 89, Joe Johnson, number 50, number 64, Peter Lamb.
Art Laveris could get this kick up and towards the right. The wind could really play havoc with the kickoff.
Sure could. Art might take a few extra steps this week, and he is actually back 5 yards, getting ready to boom it. A high end-over-end kick, fielded back there by number 29 for Portland, Matt Levitt, and he doesn't get much. Gets out to the 24-yard line, maybe to the 25, and Portland will set up the offense for the first time this afternoon.
Like Greg Purdy on the first one in there on that stop, and Portland gets their first shot with decent field position at the 25.
Well, Matt Levitt went back and fielded that one. He might have been better off letting it go to the deep man coming up with a run. He had to go back, field it, then start his motion all over. And that's like an outfielder in baseball. You want to come forward when you have to throw home. And he wasn't, and only got Portland out to the 25-yard line. The quarterback, number 12, Mark Darling, sets up. Split backfield with Elliott and Napolitano. Handoff to Napolitano, cuts up the middle, met right there by Pickard. He'll pick up 3 on the play.
Trojan D's got to say a little too much, as Lasser and Pickard both in on the stop, as Pickard got a hold of the ankles of Napolitano. He's a tough back, and he makes the most out of that carry.
Second down and 7 now for the Bulldogs. I formation this time as Portland mixes it up a lot in the backfield. Napolitano running fullback. Elliott the tail. Hand off to Elliott. Met right at the line of scrimmage. Willett in on the stop, number 35, along with Pickard again. And also in there, number 82, Troy Caron, all doing a good job on that left defensive side.
They may have lost a couple of feet on that play as the left side said no dice.
Third down now, and we'll call it a short 7. An official timeout on the field.
Big third down play. I saw this Bulldog team early in the first quarter against Biddeford a few weeks back. Boy, they ran like a crossing pattern, and they took the play all the way for a touchdown. Unfortunately for the Bulldogs, it was called back. They went 80 yards on that play, and it was like a crossing flat pass out there, and they got some speed.
Number 71, Steve Gorham, checking the helmet back into the lineup. They're down at 7. Dante comes to the near side, split out. Alexander wide on the right side. I formation, Napolitano, Elliott. Darling back to pass. Fakes the counter play, rolls out, throws it over the middle of the curl pad. He had a man open. Alexander was wide open, 2 yards past the first down marker, but Darling underthrew it to his left-hand side, and Portland will be forced to kick it away to Thornton Academy.
So chalk went up for the Trojan defense. They give up maybe 3 yards, and they're going to get the football back.
Good first defensive stand. They did that last week against Sanford. The defense has been coming around, and back returning Tom Langstaff, who had an 86-yard return last week, and Ryan Lasser, number 42, who got some pressure. Willett almost in there, short kick off to the side, takes a good bounce for Portland, but it'll be marked down at the 45-yard line. Thornton Academy will have excellent field position to start their first offensive drive of the afternoon. 10 minutes, 18 seconds left. Opening stanza. Thornton Academy and Portland High School football on CTV 30, a BTV sports presentation. Thornton Academy will set up the offense. They come out with Agresti and Parity as the wideouts. Agresti to the near. Parity goes to the far side of the field, split left.
Option left.
High formation, Avaris Langstaff. Pitch out to Langstaff, rolling out the right side. He's got a corner out there, trying to get a block. He'll pick up 5 on the play.
Flag thrown in there.
Boy, I wouldn't know what that would be. They're going to call something on Parity. He was making the block out there. Looked like a clean block. Clipping on Parity. That's a tough call. He was out there blocking him, and again, I think we had someone turn it back on the middle of a block. I mean, that just shouldn't be called. That's a tough, tough call. I'd like to see that one back. Parity had the man pushing back, and then during the middle of the block, looked like the guy turned his back on him. And the gain of 5 will be negated, and it'll bring up a first down and 20 for the Trojans. They'll mark off 15.
Well, that hurts, obviously, to pick up that penalty right away on the first play when it is a gain of 5. And I just saw a nice stop out there, and when I initially saw the flag, I thought maybe they got a face mask in there.
Okay, first down and 20. We'll try it again. Willett in the lineup now for Parity. He's to the near side. Agresti to the far. Hand off Laveris up the middle. No, it's Cook on the keeper. Cook's got some running room, trying to get outside, cuts back in. A nice run for Matt Cook as he picks up 18 yards. Had me fooled. Matt Cook doing a great job on the option as Laveris got met right up the middle and stood up. It looked like the tackle was being made, and out came Matt Cook, gaining 18 valuable yards on the first down play. Thornton Academy right back in good position.
Beautiful run by Matt Cook, stopped out there by Brian Dupre, the 5'10 senior out there in the defensive secondary for the Bulldogs, and makes it a second down and about 3.
He used his block perfectly. Good job out blocking ahead was number 35, Doug Willett. Both wideouts doing a good job blocking, although Parity got called for the clipping. Langstaff in motion, and Thornton Academy jumps offside. Looks like John Maynard, number 58, jumped on the right side for the Trojans.
Yeah, he got pulled off by the jump on the Portland side. Was the first jump, and if he'd have held his ground, it was the penalty against Portland, but the offense doesn't stay.
Well, a very atypical start for the Trojans. 2 penalties right off the bat. We haven't seen this team make that many mistakes this early. Second down and 8 for the Trojans. Agresti to the near, Willett far, I formation. Cook again on the keeper, cuts inside, cuts back outside, still on his feet, turns inside, and he'll have enough for a TA first down.
Depending on where they mark that, they might get stingy and try to come in on his knees, but he did a nice job of turning in his body and falling forward, and they will mark it for the first down.
Matt Cook getting 18 on the previous, take away another, give him back another 7, 25 yards so far on 2 carries for Matt Cook. And I've noticed on these 2 runs, Jeff, he's been running lower to the ground and his body going forward, not standing up and getting popped like he has prior to this week's contest.
Tough running for that initial first down. There's 2 penalties later, and here we go, 1st and 10.
Handoff Laveris, he'll pick up 3 on the play. Portland definitely is fired up to stop Art Laveris. Art Laveris playing his freshman year at Portland, transferring out last year to Thornton Academy. An Alorgia Beach student, went to Portland initially, then came here, and there's a lot of bad vibes, should we say, maybe towards Art Laveris, and a little extra incentive for Portland to stuff him. Chevers was very fired up against Laveris too.
Well, Napolitano in on that stop, but if they're fired up and he gets 4 yards every time, the Trojans will take that.
Pitch out to Langstaff. He's rolling right. Good block out there by Pickard, but he slips off. There'll be a gain of about a half a yard for Langstaff. It looked good initially. Dave Rumpf out there on the stop, number 81 for Portland, along with Dupre and McLeod.
Yeah, right away that looked good, but a very deep pitch, and Langstaff getting out there, the blocks were unable to hold.
Exactly. Pickard had a good block initially, but he couldn't hold his block, and Rumpf shedded the block and then got in on the tackle.
4 or 5 Bulldogs able to get in over there on the pursuit.
Ball right at the 40-yard line, 3rd down and 5, a little more than 5. They got to get just past the 35-yard line for the first down. I formation, Parity in the slot, strong left. Handoff out of the tailback to Langstaff, cutting inside, makes a nice juke move, still on his feet, dives forward, and he'll pick up 12 yards and a TA first down. A nice run out of the I formation for Tom Langstaff.
Boy, did that have everybody fooled with that 3rd down situation. They're looking outside, looking for a pass maybe. The deep handoff to Langstaff as the offensive line just plowed open a hole right in the middle, and Langstaff scooting right through. Fine run.
Tom being a much bigger part of the offense the last 2 weeks, and this week Coach Agresti using him more and more, different looks. Handoff Laveris up the middle, not much there. Thornton Academy on a move. Clock winding, 6:40 left first quarter. Thornton Academy's first possession, they took over at their own 45, now down to the 25-yard line of the Bulldogs. Definitely in 4-down territory already and within range real soon of Art Laveris' foot with a strong wind today left to right. It could thwart things a little bit, but you never know. His foot could always be a factor in any contest.
Jamie Martin kind of sliding from tackle to linebacker. 225, he's tough there for the Bulldogs.
Looked like some motion, we don't see any flag. Good block outside, and then they call that for a clipping. That's a tough call out there. I saw that block.
How they could call that as a clip.
Terrible call. Terrible call, and there it is, a clip. He got plenty of the body.
He was all over that shoulder.
He sure was, and that's a terrible call, and you hear groans down on the coaching side of TA, the coaching staff yelling it out. A very poor call. You could see the block. It was beautiful. He got plenty of the front side of the Portland defender. And Thornton Academy, 3 penalties already in the first quarter. 2 clips and an offside. Going against the odds, but still moving the chains. This will be a tough one, as it'll set up a 2nd down and about 23 yards for the Trojans. A very poor call. There's no question about that one. I won't even go back to look at the film. I saw that clearly from this vantage point. And the officials seem very anxious to throw their little yellow hankies and put an impact on this contest early. 2nd down now.
That wasn't even close.
And 27, it looks like. Paquette in motion this way. Agresti was offside, stood there, and now pass over the middle. A no call there as Craig Agresti was offside. Looked at the official let him go with it. The camera picked that up. It was clearly an offside on Agresti, but no call by the Thornton official. And now one of the Portland defenders is questioning that official. Alexander is saying, why not a call there? The pass over the middle to Willett was incomplete. Good defense by the Bulldogs. 3rd down and a whole bunch for the Trojan offense. Agresti and Parity, the wideouts. Agresti to the near. You got Langstaff and Paquette both in slot positions. Langstaff comes in motion. Cook rolling out to the right, looking downfield, fires in. Craig Agresti wide open, dropped the football. And that's a ball that should have been had. Wouldn't have been enough for the first down, but it would have got them in the position to go for it on 4th down, and now Thornton Academy will have to punt it away.
Well, maybe Craig was thinking of run before he came down with it, but yes, he definitely wishes he had that one back. Had he made the reception, there's still the chance that he could have spun out of there and got some yardage on that play, as he was wide open.
He had running room, no doubt about it. Langstaff in to do the punting, so Thornton Academy's nice drive gets stopped by penalties. Back deep for the Bulldogs is Alexander. They got 10 men on the line of scrimmage. A long snap count for Langstaff. Little low snap. Langstaff fields it. Nice, high, booming kick. That'll probably find the end zone. Alexander's going to let it go. Going to be awful close, and it gets into the end zone. That'll come back out to the 20-yard line. 45-yard kick for Langstaff. But no one could get down there in time to keep it out of the end zone. And the Bulldogs will get their second chance at the pigskin with no score. We got 5 minutes, 38 seconds left, first quarter. Pete's True Value Hardware scoreboard. Thornton Academy 0, Portland Bulldogs 0. You're watching high school football on CTV 30. We're back after these messages. Back at Hill Stadium in Saco, Jay Harper and Jeff Harper. First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. I formation. Alexander in motion this way. Pitch out to Elliott. Elliott tries to get the corner. Met out there hard. Trojan defense right at the line of scrimmage. Langstaff, Karen, and Guy Pickard once again. Pickard having an outstanding first quarter on the defensive side.
They may decide to give up that left side, as they're very stingy over there. I don't think they've gained a yard over there yet. Very tough defense.
And that's something the first 3 contests of the year we saw any opponent get outside on Thornton Academy. It didn't matter whether it was right or left. The last 3, it's been outstanding. Not much doing on the outside. Second down and 10. Counterplay back this way, met in the backfield, and he stood up. DeRocher in there looked like to stop it. Gobiel, McLeod, and also Doobie, Presby.
We're seeing all the kinds of things that a defense really has to do, and that's gang tackle, that's come up quick and cover your ground. The Trojans are doing that, and hopefully right here they can make that big play on 3rd down, which has been one of their nemesis all year as well.
Certainly has. They're down in 12. Great tackle by the Trojan defense. A slew of tacklers in on that stop. High formation. Here's the handoff again. This time Elliott coming outside, stands up, still spinning, gets turned down. Justin Doobie, number 76, doing a good job spinning him away. McLeod coming in to help out late, but it'll be well short of the first down. And Thornton Academy will get the ball right back. Great defensive stand once again.
Well, they've marked that ball even way back from where he went down, saying that his knee went down, and they're petitioning the ref for
exactly
a little bit more, but the Trojan defense holds again.
4th down and 12. So he definitely went down way before we saw him actually go down. His knee must have touched. Laveris, the sole man back. Thornton Academy maybe looking for a block. Coming in, not much. A high kick, but very short. Get out of the way. Trojan defense all in there. Takes a Thornton Academy bounce, and that's going to be a 7-yard punt. Net gain on that one. A high short kick. Took a Trojan bounce, and
you might as well say they recovered a fumble, picked off a pass. That is just a great play for the defense, and now the offense can work with 24 yards in front of them.
Take over at the Portland 24-yard line, and I don't know if the pressure had anything to do with that short kick, but Langstaff got in there. There was a little bit of pressure coming in on the punter for the Bulldogs. Also Samaras.
Samaras put that major pressure on, and that definitely affected that kick.
First down and 10. Handoff Laveris up the middle. Got some running room, but stumbled down. He'll pick up a strong 4, though. Nice first down play for the Trojans. And with the emergence of Jeff DeRocher on defense, it has really spelled Art Laveris for his offensive works, not having to play as much on the defensive side. So Art will be much more rested as these contests get later on into them. Second down now and 6. Agresti and Willett both to the near side. Willett in the slot position, I formation. Cook hands off to Langstaff to the left. Stands up, gets forward, picks up 2. A nice run for Langstaff as he looked like he was going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. Got past the 2 initial tacklers for Portland. Joe McLeod, one of them.
I like that little delay. It didn't look quite the same as the one where Langstaff got the big gain on last possession. It looked just a little bit like he was running to the left, but he may be just taking the football and running to daylight, taking whatever opens up in there. But it's a nice looking play, a good tackle in there. Is number 52 for the Portland Bulldogs. Jamie Martin is always right there, big kid.
3rd down and 3 for the Trojans, a long 3. They set up in their hockey backfield. It looks like, no, Langstaff's in there with Karen, so it's Langstaff, Karen, and Laveris. Langstaff comes in motion, hand off Laveris to the left side. He's not going to get it. It'll be a 4th down play. Interesting to see the call of Coach Agresti and his staff. 4th down now in 3 as he picked up a half a yard.
4th down.
Willett coming in with the play.
Run it option right, give Matt Cook the option to take it out and roll it around. You got plenty of room here on the right side. I think that's what we'll see right now.
Coach Agresti trying to run behind Troy Karen again, leading the blocking for Laveris, but not able to open up enough on that side. Joe Johnson and Jamie Martin both in on that stop for the Bulldogs. Big 4th down play. Cook he's got the ball, holds on, fighting forward. It's gonna be awful close. It looks like he may have it, Jeff. A good second effort from Matt Cook. He's running so much stronger this afternoon. Big play.
Looks like he's got it from here.
And a 1st down. Great run for Matt Cook. Second effort got him that one. And Thornton Academy, 1st down and 10 at the 13-yard line of the Bulldogs, threatening once again. 1 minute, 27 seconds left, 1st quarter. Thornton Academy so far dominating the 1st quarter, but no points yet to show. Matt LeBlanc into the lineup for the Trojans. He's to the near side with Craig Agresti. I formation. Handoff Laveris up the middle. He'll get 2. Looked like there was more coming, but Jamie Martin, once again, number 52, stuffing that one.
Yeah, we've got to find some motion or some kind of activity to get him to move out of there before we go in the middle. He's a big kid. The defensive captain out there.
Playing outstanding so far. Looked like that one was opening up for that big left counter play that we're so used to seeing Laveris break off for 6. Jamie Martin in the middle, though, to stop it. Gain of only 1 on the play. 2nd down and 9. Pitch out to Langstaff coming this way. Trying to get the block out there. Cuts inside, and he'll only gain about 1 on the play. It'll bring up another 3rd down and long. Joe McLeod out there doing a good job at fighting off his block, staying in the middle of that, and not allowing Langstaff the opportunity to make a cut inside or out.
Nice cut by Langstaff, though, as the things looked pretty stacked up, and he was able to bash in there for what he could get. Dave Rumpf and Brian Dupre for the Bulldogs closing it off.
3rd down now and 7. LeBlanc brings it in again, playing wide out, the sophomore, number 41.
Yes, we're going to throw to the left side here. They've got him stacked out there.
That is the end of the 1st quarter.
End of the 1st quarter. Pete's True Value Hardware scoreboard. Double goose eggs. Thornton Academy 0, Portland Bulldogs 0. You're watching high school football on CTV 30. We're back right after these brief messages. Welcome back to Hill Stadium in Saco. Jay Harper along with Jeff Harper high atop the roof at Hill Stadium. A beautiful afternoon once again, Jeff, and a good 1st quarter for the Trojans. Big 3rd down play here. Wondering, though, how you know they're going to pass that left side in this particular situation.
Well, that was my prediction there. I'm not sure if they'll change the call here now with the change of winds and everything, but I think coming from the Thornton Academy football history and playing under Coach Agresti as a freshman, playing for Coach Bob Cody, who was Coach Agresti's coach, there's a kind of a lineage there where I can somehow feel the Trojan play calling, and knowing a little bit about the talents of these players, he can sometimes make great guesses.
And being an ex-quarterback doesn't hurt either. 3rd down and a short 7, long 6 for TA. They come back with Agresti and LeBlanc to the left side. I formation in the backfield. Cook fakes the handoff, going on the counter. Doesn't look out for his pitch man. He had Langstaff out there. He'll pick up 1 on the play. Bulldogs very stingy now on the D in this critical inside the 20 situation. He picked up a half a yard. It'll be a 4th and 6 now for TA.
So we had the decoys with the double split left, and they decided to run option on the short side of the field. And Matt, sensing that he's had some success keeping that football, elected to keep it again. He comes up a little short. Big play for the Trojans.
Big 4th down, 4th and 6. Parity to the short side of the field, wide right. Agresti this way. I formation. Cook Fakes it, rolls out, naked bootleg, looking. He's going to run the football, and he's not going to get it. And Agresti looked wide open in the corner of the end zone, but Matt Cook didn't look like he was even looking to pass it. Looked like maybe a broken play, Jeff. Not really sure.
I don't know. There were several maroon jerseys out there that had a beat on that play. If he'd thrown it deep into the end zone, he had no danger of throwing that pass out there. Craig Agresti looked like he had some room out there in the back of the end zone, definitely.
In that situation, any surprise that Thornton Academy didn't go for the 3 in the field goal with Lavaris?
He'd be kicking into the teeth of the wind, and seeing as the Trojan defense is playing well, he's seeing that we're looking for 6 early, and the Trojan defense can now stop him again.
2 excellent drives for Thornton Academy, no points though, and Poland takes over. Hand off, Elliott, he's crushed right there. Karen was the initial man, and then he got ripped away from the ball. Willett in there, along with DeRocher.
Doobie right there.
It was Troy Karen, the initial stop, and then a lot of people came in to help him. The wind blowing very strong and gusty, as you can hear it through our microphones. Up on top of the roof at Hill Stadium. Beautiful sunshine, though, bright afternoon. This is a big contest. Both 3-2, both can ill afford a loss at this juncture of the season. Midway through, game 6. 3 remaining after this one. Napolitano got from running room up the middle, cuts outside. Lasur out there along with Agresti, and he's going to come up just short of the first down.
Ooh, as we see, when that surge is made and they get past that Trojan front, the secondary having a tough time bringing down Napolitano. 5'9", 165. He runs like he's a bit heavier.
Officials timeout on the field. 9 minutes, 55 seconds left, second quarter. Thornton Academy has had 2 excellent drives, but both getting stopped on 4th down plays. And Thornton Academy, the first drive, got thwarted really on a poor call by the officials on the clipping. And this last time, just 4 downs, Portland dug in, got stingy. Did a good job of holding up TA on 4 downs.
And we're going to come up with a 3rd down and very short here in the Trojan defense. If they could fire across.
Thornton has not allowed Portland a first down yet. They've had 2 chances on the offense, and both times 3 plays and a punt.
Got to stunt those linebackers, and they're stacking them on the left side.
Got to be careful though if he breaks through there, the long run, and he's going to fight forward for the first down. I believe it was Napolitano on the carry. Number 40, only a junior. Had an outstanding game against Thornton Academy last year at the stadium as only a sophomore. And he's back again this year, having a good season so far. And it was Elliott against Sanford, the game I saw, that gained over 200 yards against the Redskins. And Napolitano must have picked up about 80. They had over 300 yards rushing that evening at Cobb Stadium. First down and 10. I formation in the backfield. Dante to the near side, split out wide right. Quarterback Darling hands off on the counter to Napolitano, punishing his way through there, and he's going to pick up another first down and still fighting. Strong run as Portland starts to get their offense in gear.
He doesn't give up. Finally stopped out there by Craig Agresti and Gobiel, but geez, he's carrying that football kind of loosely too. A 2-man tackle could have knocked that ball loose out there.
Another first down for the Bulldogs. 2 consecutive, their first 2 of the contest, and they're on the move. Jeff Saran comes in, number 20, replacing Ryan Lasur at safety. First down, I formation in the backfield. Handoff up the middle. Looks like Napolitano again, he'll pick up 3.
Well, the Bulldogs have found some momentum here. They're moving the football, even on their bad plays, picking up the 3 yards. A necessary 3. It'll be a second down and 7.
Lavaris comes in for DeRocher, so it's Lavaris and Pickard in the middle now. The wind is getting gusty, picking up an extra notch or 2. Both teams keeping it pretty much exclusively on the ground so far this afternoon. Second down now in 7. I formation. Alexander goes in motion back the other way. Fakes the handoff, dialing on the keeper, and he's met out there by Willett. What a great play. And that'll be a loss of 7.
That's the kind of play you need to keep that defense alive, and that should psych them up. Pulling out this 3rd down and 15.
That play looked like it fooled about 8 out of the 11 Thornton Academy defenders, but not fooled was number 35, Doug Willett. He stayed at home and made the sack in the backfield. 3rd and 15 now. Big play for the Bulldog offense, facing a strong gusty wind blowing from right to left across the field. They have Alexander to the near side. Rumpf out on the other side. I formation. Alexander goes in motion. Handoff up the middle, and right there met Laveris and Justin Doobie. Doobie is having so far a good game.
Doobie wrapped him right up immediately, and Laveris put the stamp on.
And that's been the difference with the emergence of Justin Doobie and Ed Presby. They're doing a good job in the middle. Tackle is holding their blocks and keeping things stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and that allows the linebackers to shed blockers and kind of skate from left to right and get in on the stops. Last 3 weeks has really been a much improved Thornton Academy defense. Laveris, the lone guy back. The rush is on, not much doing. A better kick this time, a high kick. Laveris going to back away from it. Pickard fields it though, and kind of dangerous. There's a late hit, and if we don't see a flag there, something is seriously wrong. Finally, the official calls it.
I say the crowd called that one. The crowd reacted right away, and then the flag came up. The crowd said, "Wait a minute." And the flag came out of the pocket right here on the fan side of the field.
Coach Moran scolding Guy Pickard, excuse me, for fielding that one. He had no right doing that really, because there was Portland defenders around him. A very dangerous play for Pickard to do, but as it turns out, it works out. They'll get an extra 15 tacked on now. And that was clearly a late hit.
Yes, Coach, I fielded it and gained 15 yards.
Without even moving. He took a pop in the back late, and there was 2 officials right there, and they both waited clearly way too long to make the call, and it looked like one was going to let it go, and the other one finally pulled the flag out. First down at 10.
It took a Trojan bounce, so there was definitely no business in fielding that punt.
First down and 10. High formation in the backfield. Cook hands off Laveris. He's got some room this way. Cuts inside. Still punishing. Pushing. He's still on his feet. He's still fighting. He's going to go all the way. Art Laveris. Mr. Amazing. What a great run.
Words cannot describe that run. Art Laveris just ran over number 34, Scott Alexander, gave him a ride down the field, broke 2 more tackles, cut to the left, and scored. And there's a flag down in the end zone. I don't know why. The ref has picked it up.
They are shell-shocked. The Portland side of the field and the Portland defense is shell-shocked right now. Laveris punished Alexander, broke another tackle, cut off to the right, and as you said, mere words cannot describe that. A 45-yard run for Art Laveris, and Thornton Academy jumps on the scoreboard with 6:39 left in the first half. A great run. That might be his best ever so far in a year and a half of football for Art Laveris. He's had longer ones, but I don't think any better than that one right there. Laveris lines up the PAT. Cook doing the hold. Low snap. Gets it down. Kick is up and good. Thornton Academy jumps on top. 7-0.
8 in a row for Art Laveris. So I can't remember back to the Yale game to match him up to see what he did then, but he's racking them up. And yes, if you count endurance, the punishment he dished out and tackles broken, that had to be the greatest run we've seen him run. He just, unbelievable that he stayed on his feet.
Super catch. I mean, super run. He got the left counter play, as Thornton has done throughout the 2 years of Art Laveris' reign. That left counter and a great run, got through the hole, and then just punished Alexander. Popped him 2 or 3 times, ran right over his face, broke another tackle, cut back, a block downfield. Dave Rumpf was in his way, but he got the extra block and broke it back to the right, 45 yards and a touchdown. You're watching high school football on CTV 30. We're back right after this.
Well, I tell you, Jay, I've been a defensive back stopping some big backs, but I don't know if I'd like to try to get in front of Art Laveris. These defensive backs around the league take a beating.
And Alexander, no small person, really. I mean, he's 5'8", 155, and he plays linebacker, defensive back. He alternates, and, of course, a strong runner out of the wingback. But he just got overmatched on that run. 200-pound Art Laveris just cleanly ran right over him. 15-yard penalty, a personal foul against the Trojans on that touchdown. They're going to mark it off on the kickoff. So Laveris kicking from his own 25-yard line. And the wind, if it's going one way or the other, is kind of in Thornton's face. A nice low kick, though, hard kick, fielded by Elliott. Elliott coming right up the gut. He gets met right there hard. It's Samaras again. Boy, he stuck him up high and took him down. Got help in there by Jeff DeRocher, number 45, but George Samaras, the little big man for the TA Special Teams, a great hit. Thornton Academy on the defense once again. Portland has their best field position of the afternoon, ball on their 46-yard line.
Missed the special team, George Samaras.
First and 10 now for the Bulldog offense, trying to answer back. Trailing now 7-0. Alexander comes in motion. Lucky he still has his wits. Pitch out to Elliott on the corner. Comes this way, gets a cut, and a good job by Jim McLeod coming back along with Tom Langstaff to get on that stop. Elliott breaks the tackle. Langstaff, he's off to the races, and no one's catching him. He has blazing speed.
Well, Langstaff did the fine job of forcing that back inside for McLeod, being the help-out man right there to stop that at a gain of about 6. A big play for the Bulldogs, and there was some behind the jersey blocking in there for the Bulldogs, but we didn't see a flag.
That's the first time we've seen a soft corner on the left-hand side for the Trojan defense. Second down now in 4. Alexander in motion, I formation. Napolitano, the fullback. Elliott, the tail. He's going to run the other way now on the sweep. Getting outside, he'll be very close to a first down. As Portland looks like they're just going to mount it up and let Elliott break to the outside. They give Portland the first down on a very good spot out there. So Portland in Thornton Academy territory on the move.
Gobiel and Saran in on the stop out there, and Guy Peckard making some great pursuit on the inside, but just getting the ankles on that play. Otherwise, we had him stopped dead at the line.
First and 10, ball at the 44-yard line of the Trojans. Portland trying to come back now, trailing by 7. Darling, handoff to the deep man Elliott. Cuts inside, cuts outside. He's starting to get it geared up. Last drive, it was Napolitano getting it going. And now on this drive, it looks like Elliott's getting the nod, and he's their workhorse throughout the first 2 possessions on that, first 2 handoffs.
Again, Guy Pickard getting great penetration, but he's coming in low, and that time, Napolitano just dancing right over him.
Laveras comes back into the defense. DeRocher comes out. Second down and 5 as Elliott picked up another 5. Portland has a lot of weapons. They can come at you in different directions. Alexander in motion, the pitch out to Elliott to the near side. Cuts him in, turns him in, but there's no one there to meet him, and he'll come up just short of the first down. Willett turned him in, but there wasn't the support right away. That allowed Elliott another 4 yards.
Well, there is some size in that Bulldog front line. 260 with Steve Stinson and 200 with Steve Gorham. Another 200 Joe McLeod on tight end. They've got some size, and it just seems to be working for them a little bit. They're opening up some holes, getting deeper into Trojan territory.
Paquette comes in for Gobiel at defensive end on the right side. Saran's the safety. Third down and 1. Handoff up the middle, Napolitano. He'll get the first down.
Napolitano for the first down.
Clock moving, 3:57 left, opening half. And there goes a flag late, and I think we're going to get another personal foul against the Trojans. And that's a tough call. Thornton Academy.
The indication is it's against Thornton Academy.
And it looks like number 20 is getting pushed back. It could be against Jeff Saran.
Indications by the Trojan defense that it's on Jeff Saran is a little bit of admonishment meted out by the rest of the Trojan defense, and very tough play to get called on you. You know, totally unnecessary.
Thornton Academy has had the mistakes so far. That's their 4th penalty of the afternoon. 5th, 2 personal fouls, 2 clippings, and an offside. Very unlike Coach Agresti's teams to be dishing out these type of penalties.
Now getting backed inside the 20-yard line, and this is back to the wall territory for the Trojan defense.
Worst scenario for an offense is to score and then have the other team come right back and score on you. You'd like to hold them at least 1 possession, keep the momentum on your side. Portland answering now on the move. Pitch out to Elliott, left side, getting outside. He's got the corner. Cuts back in, still on his feet, and gets met hard out there by Laveras and Pickard, the middle linebackers. Good pursuit, but he picks up 8.
Well, great pursuit by that Trojan middle linebacking core, Laveras and Pickard, as they got out there to make that stop. Elliott got that corner.
Ball at the 10-yard line now. Second down and 3. Timeout Trojans. And we've talked about it before. I hate to see timeouts on the defensive side, but this is a perfect situation when you do use one. Coach Agresti very wisely using one here. He still has all three. He'll have two after this one. 3:23 left in the first half. Your defense is getting punished. Time to go in and regroup the guys and have a little talk. And John Moran runs out to talk to his defense with this break in action. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this on CTV 30. Back at Hill Stadium in Saco, Jay Harper and Jeff Harper bringing you today's action. A very exciting first half so far. Thornton Academy really dominating up until this last drive by the Bulldogs, and they've put it together with the beneficiary of two big 15-yard penalties, counting the 15-yarder on the touchdown run by Laveras. There was a personal foul. They marked it off on the kickoff, so Laveras was kicking 15 yards deep from his own 25 when he teed it up, and Portland got excellent field position to start their drive at their own 46, and now the personal foul getting them even closer. So Portland really using the mistakes by the Trojans and trying to answer back with 3 minutes, 23 seconds left in the first half. Jeff, so far, though, a pretty good contest.
Yeah, minus all the penalties that the Trojans have amounted, you know, geez, it's tough on a team when you're giving up so much free yardage, and this defense has now got to dig in and play big, and they need the benefit of a big play.
Split backfield with Elliott Napolitano, 2nd down and 3. Darling hands it off to Napolitano. He's got some room. He's going to get forward for, it looks like, another Portland first down. They'll set up 1st and goal to go at the 6-yard line.
Napolitano on the carry.
And they're just mixing it up now with Napolitano. Elliott, goal line defense comes out for Coach Agresti, and now they stop, come back.
Going to measure.
They're going to take a measure, but it looks pretty close to me.
Well, with still 3 minutes left in the first half, the Trojans, even if they were to give up a score here, will get the football back with plenty of time to gain a halftime lead.
First down by the length of the football.
It'll be 1st and goal.
In that situation, you'd rather see Portland actually pick up the first down and give them their 4 downs right there rather than having a 3rd down and very short and a 4th down getting even closer and setting up a easier run on their 4 plays. So it's 1st down and goal to go at the 6-yard line. Thornton Academy's defense has a big task in front of them. Portland comes out, split backfield. Brian Dupre on the right side, split wide. In the slot is Alexander. Hand off to the deep man, Elliott, cuts inside. He pick up 1 yard, maybe 2. She gets down inside the 5-yard line.
Stopped on a play by Guy Pickard.
So it'll be 2nd down and a long 4. Help! Handoff up the middle to Napolitano. He'll pick up 1, but come up short.
Stop shy of the goal.
All tough yardage there on the right side. Guy Pickard comes up off the bottom of that pile, as well as Doug Willett. It looks like we're going to have about a 3rd down and a long 2.
Ball at about the 3.
All right, 3rd down and goal to go for the Portland offense. Split backfield. Trojan defense digging in. Hand off to the right side. There's a fumble on the field. Ball's down. It looked like Napolitano got back on it. That'll bring up, though, a big 4th down and goal to go for the Bulldog offense.
That was the kind of play they were looking for, and of course it comes as a loss of yardage. The ball almost back to the 5-yard line. Big break for the Trojans, bringing up a 4th and long.
Ball at about the 4.
Mark Dowling runs off to the sideline. I didn't see a timeout called. He's talking. I guess we do have a Portland timeout.
Well, with a break in the action, we're going to take a quick pause on CTV 30. You're watching Thornton Academy High School football. We're back right after this.
Well, here we have a major test for that Trojan defense. We've ticked down to 1:26 now left in the half, so very unfortunate that so much time has run off now with the Bulldogs cannot get a first down. They've got to get into the end zone.
The biggest play so far in this contest, 4th down and 4. And now a timeout on the field, and Thornton Academy will be charged with this one. So back-to-back timeouts. Thornton Academy looking at Portland's offensive set, calling a timeout, and now they're getting ready to defense it. Just had a strong wind blow off my sheets and being retrieved. As the strong wind up here is really gusty at times. Blew open the book, and I thought I lost them down in the stands, but fortunately a very kind TA fan retrieving them for me and bringing them back, as that's Thornton Academy's rosters on those big yellow sheets I was showing the people at home last week. Those were the ones that I almost lost. I'm without them, but we just got them back. And
the TA fans who had a part in bringing those cards back, you know who you are. Thanks a lot for that.
You can see the wind.
Well appreciated.
You can see the wind blowing too, as if our cameraman will pick up, Mark Cantor, our cameraman today, pick up the flagpole blowing straight across. There's a very strong wind this afternoon. Beautiful afternoon temperature-wise and sun-wise. But one of the hazards of being up on top of the roof with no enclosement. Here it is, the big 4th down play though. Portland breaks the huddle. They got Dante to the right side. McLeod now comes over.
They're going to come right here. They're coming right. They put the tight end over here.
Hand out to Napolitano. He's coming outside. Cuts in. No, sir. Not down by Doug Willett. Looked like Napolitano slipped, but Willett was there to meet him. And the Thornton Academy goal line defense comes up big.
Napolitano came to the right side. Willett right there, and he had to cut inside, and he slipped down, and Willett took him down.
And that could be the biggest series of this contest. Thornton Academy maintains their 7-0 lead with 1:22. Both teams using 2 timeouts in that last series. So Thornton Academy probably will try to just run the clock out, being pinned deep in their own territory.
Well, nothing fancy. You ought to see Art Laveris getting his hands on the football right here. Left or right, it doesn't matter too much. Maybe left, since he had that success on that last offensive play that they ran. They come left with him again. But we got a full backfield.
Hockey backfield. Handoff up the middle and not much doing. The clock continues to move, 52 and winding. Portland now uses a timeout wisely. So we've seen 5 timeouts in the last minute of this one. Thornton Academy just trying to run the clock out. Portland trying to now force a punt and get their hands on the football or a chance to block that punt with Thornton deep in their own territory. An excellent first half of football on CTV 30. Of course, a BTV sports presentation. At the conclusion of today's contest, once again, we'll be picking our gutsy players of the game, both offensively and defensively, sponsored by Wagner's Market in Saco. The recipients of that award get a Gut Bomb sandwich from Wally World in Saco, 118 Lincoln Street. And we've had some outstanding performances the last couple of weeks, and we could have gave out quite a few last week. And so far this week, there's been some great defensive plays. Doug Willett doing a good job again on the defensive side. Justin Doobie having a good game so far. Pickard outstanding in the middle, as he has been really all season long. And still reeling from that great run by Art Laveris. 45 yards, broke about 4 tackles, and just ran over Scott Alexander. He's still looking for the number on that one. 2nd down now and 10. Power backfield. Handoff Laveris, got a little hole, cuts inside, cuts back up the middle. He'll pick up a first down. So Thornton Academy now can run the clock out in the first half. There'll be no chance for Portland to get their hands on the football. Not with that first down.
Well, it definitely takes 3 secondary men to get a hold of him. Dante, Dupre, and Elliott all in on that stop, getting a hold of Art Laveris. As he had a little bit of pasture out there, it looked like he threatened to go again.
Very hard-fought first half. Thornton Academy really dominating, but only able to come up with 7. Portland still very much in this contest. It'll be a big second half. Handoff Laveris. He's got a hole again. Cutting outside. Look out! He's going down the sideline. 50, 40, a little stutter step. He might do it. Trying to run out of speed. He's being chased by 1 man. Wow! Art Laveris going 82 yards. With 16 seconds on the clock, do you see the stutter step?
That was the move. It looked like he had the angle taken away from him. He did a stutter like he was going to cut back and then turned on the Jets.
Mr. All-American, I can't say enough about this kid. Art Laveris is simply amazing. I thought the last run might have been his best, but he might have just bettered it right there, even though he got out clearly, didn't run over people. But that move was amazing, and that's from your fullback making that move.
Trojans have called timeout to give Art a break and let him change his shoe out there.
Exactly. When he goes that long, it's time to call timeout, give him a chance to catch his breath. And yes, let's give that man an applause. Thornton Academy giving a second round of applause for Art Laveris.
You're never out of it with Art Laveris on your side, and the big kid, he's only a junior, ran him down.
I'm just saying, Coach Aggressive be happy to run the clock out now with that first down. But I guess with a backfield of Langstaff and Laveris, you can score at any time from anywhere, even if you're on the ground. He broke off that left side again, had a huge hole, cut outside, cut ahead of a person, but then he had one man closing in on him. I didn't catch the number. I think it might have been number 45, Steve Hanlon, for the Portland Bulldogs. Had the angle on him, looked like he was going to make the tackle. Laveris slowed down, looked like he was going to cut back against the grain, and that's what Hanlon paused for. And as soon as he did, Laveris turned it right back on and just juiced him down the sideline. And then he had number 83 closing in on him, but was able to outdistance Dana Denbo for the touchdown.
Well, I was prepared to begin the halftime wrap-up by saying, you know, the Bulldogs really caught a break. They're lucky to be in this 7-0. Trojans, you know, unfortunate that they could only go into half with a 7-0 lead, and Art made up for those penalties right there.
Snap is good. Cook gets the hold down. Laveris' kick is up and good. Once again, we'll say it. Art Laveris 14, Portland nothing. You're watching high school football on CTV 30. And what a great performance. Two sensational runs by number 33, Art Laveris, only a junior. And still, we still have another full season and 3 more contests to enjoy the prowesses of a great running back. I still can't believe that move. That was just pure. I don't know if any back can do some like Gale Sayers or O.J. Simpson. That slow down move just stopped the back in its tracks, and then he just juiced it.
It reminds you of a basketball move if you're trying to move on a fast break and you slow down the dribble and then take off for the layup and burn your opponent. And he did that so wonderfully. It was just all instinct. He just stopped. This guy's got the angle on me. I'll stutter, and then boom.
Initially, I started to count down the yard markers going 50-40, but then it looked like he was going to be caught. And no, sir. Just an outstanding move, and down the sideline, 82 yards.
Turns on the afterburners.
Laveris 45-yard touchdown run and an 82-yarder. Well on the way to another 200-yard performance. A bounding kick, touched by a Portland player, and Elliott gets out there and just pounces on it. We got 14 seconds left. There should have been a lot more time to tick off the clock than the 2 seconds because the Portland player touched that well before Elliott got on that.
Yes, I am mystified to see that that kick and rolling punt like that, rolling kick on the ground could only take 2 seconds. Clock is now running. We'll not see another play, and the Trojans will head into halftime with a 14-0 lead.
We've seen some great backs over the years for all kinds of teams. Bogdanovich, you were talking about earlier. Tony Matoyne, I played against. Thornton Academy backs going way back. George Trudeau, an outstanding power back. Lance Lavoie, 2 years ago. Bobby Giroux. Some of the tailbacks, Steve Vance, Jeff McNabb. I mean, the list goes on and on. But I have never seen 2 better runs back-to-back in my entire career of watching high school football. Those 2 just still have me miffed and amazed at that young man's performance and what he's able to do on a football field. As Thornton Academy now walks off, Laveris coming out right now, number 33, with a helmet off and a water bottle. And boy, does he deserve a round of applause.
Yeah, you'd have to dig into the archives and get out the old film to try to find runs that could match those. And if you tried to put all the things together, the speed, the power, the instincts, I mean, yes, you'd be very hard-pressed to find someone to match up with Art Laveris.
Well, we're at halftime at Hill Stadium in Saco. Our Pete's True Value Hardware scoreboard has us Thornton Academy 14, Portland 0. You're watching high school football on CTV 30. We're going to take a short pause, come back, and give you a little intermission.
Welcome back to Hill Stadium in Saco. Jay Harper along with Jeff Harper. Thornton Academy leading 14-0 over the Portland Bulldogs. A very exciting and amazing first half. Probably two of the best runs you'll see in high school football. Art Laveras breaking off 45 yards and then 82 yards with only 25 seconds left in the first half. Portland should be in prevent defense, but they got burned big time for that one. By the time Laveras got in the end zone, there was only 16 seconds left, and Thornton Academy the 2-touchdown lead now, which looms rather large in this contest.
Yes, Jay, that 2-touchdown lead is something we felt Thornton Academy should have going into the halftime, and Felt like maybe, yeah, that was an advantage for Portland to go into half with only one touchdown down. Art Laveras took that away, putting something back against these Portland Bulldogs, and he has something to say to those former Portland players.
Certainly does. Of course, last year in Portland, the Portland Bulldogs shut down Art Laveras. They were pumped up. He played his freshman year at Portland. They know Art Laveras well, transferring to Thornton last year. They shut him down this year. Art Laveras fired up, and he's getting his just due back against the Bulldogs.
Yes, he is, and the crowd and myself included just can't wait for the second half to start. Let's get going again and get this Trojan offense on the field, see if they can keep on crushing over the Portland defense, as the offensive unit for Portland is having a tough time against Thornton Academy. Had a big break but couldn't cash in.
You can see the wind blowing us up here, holding my tie down. It's caused us a lot of problems. No problems down on the field, as both offenses have ran the ball and run it well. Of course, Portland got down right after they fell behind 7-0. They moved the ball all the way down to the 4-yard line, where they had first and goal at the 6 and unable to get in. Thornton Academy's defense still playing great football.
Yes, they have, and if I can think for a minute, I don't believe we've seen a completed pass on either offensive side, and there's been a few right in the button. Craig Gresty had one get away from him, but other than that, it's been a groundhog day.
Both teams can run the football on the ground. We expected to see a lot of that, and now with the wind blowing so hard, very gusty here at Hill Stadium, and Thornton Academy's marching band just moving off the field after a great performance at halftime. 14-0, just so many things positive for Thornton Academy. They really controlled the first half, but it looked like they were only going into the locker room with a 7-0 lead, and then Art Laveras exploded once again.
He certainly did. It was a great run. You're going to see it at least 3 or 4 times in this telecast when we get it over with. That stutter step, the great speed. He just outran the defense, and right now the Trojan defense can control the rest of this football game.
And as you said, Art Laveras, he must be at least 10 for 10 his last 10 PATs. I know he kicked a couple good at EL, 7 for 7 last week against Sanford, 2 for 2 this afternoon. He's just having an outstanding football game. Thornton Academy's defense got the goose egg up there. They're going to look for it in the second half, try to get a shutout for Coach Agresti.
It would be a great boost for the Trojan defense if they can come up with that goose egg. And the offense, of course, we'll hope to give Art Laveras a couple more shots to poke one through.
Certainly at 14-0, this one is not over yet. Portland's still playing good football. They've had the 2 big letdowns on the 2 long runs by Laveras. Other than that, they played some good football. They've bent, but they haven't broken completely, as they stopped Thornton Academy twice inside the 20-yard line. So Portland's still within this striking distance in this contest. We're going to take a break, come back with the second half kickoff. Thornton Academy 14, Portland nothing. We're back right after this. Back at Hill Stadium in Saco, Jay Harper and Jeff Harper getting set to start the second half. Thornton Academy up on top by 2 touchdowns, 14-0. A very good first half, except for the penalties, and I got a little word on the 2 personal fouls against TA. The first one on the long touchdown run, the 45-yard run for Laveras. They gave it to Art after he scored. He was pointing at some of the Portland players. Of course, that rivalry, Portland wanting to stuff him and him wanting to do good against his old teammates. And they gave him a personal foul for that. They felt like he was taunting the Portland players, and Thornton Academy's coaching staff really not sure if that warranted a flag or not, what Art Laveras did. And the other one on Jeff Saran, number 20, Saran claims he was just trying to help the kid up for Portland, pulling at his pants to get him up. And the officials thought he was taunting him and, you know, razzing him and pushing at him, and they gave him a flag for that. So not only did we see the bad call on the clipping, there's no doubt that was a very poor call. We've seen 2 questionable personal fouls, but through all that, Thornton Academy maintains the 14-point advantage and getting set to receive the second half kickoff. Back deep, Langstaff, Pickard, and McLeod.
Well, of course they're taunting. Isn't this Taunting Academy?
Yeah, it is if you're from Biddeford.
Tigers are leading Massabesic at Ronco Field this afternoon, 20-3.
Pickard fields it at his 20, cuts up the middle. He's got a little bit of running room, breaks off one man, cuts forward, ball fumbled, down on the field, and I think Portland's going to have it. They might have whistled that dead before, but I don't think so.
Ooh, fine run.
Boy, this could be a big start to the second half, and they're going to give it to Portland. The big turnover on the kickoff. Pickard came up the gut, and he was breaking off a tackle, got popped from behind. You saw the ball squirt forward, and Portland gets a big break to start the second half. Thornton Academy's defense going to be asked to do it once again. Pickard comes off the field and very upset.
Ooh, that opened up nicely. Pickard cutting through there. Saw some extra running room and fighting for some extra yardage, and the ball got knocked loose.
Big turnover. The momentum swings to Portland. Trying to get back in this one. First down and 10. Split backfield. Handoff counterplay. Elliott to the right. Not much doing there. He's stood up. Kevin Goby at number 11. The initial stop for the TA defense.
Loss of a yard on the play.
Thornton has to come up right now. This is 4-down territory for Portland if they really are serious about getting back into this inside Thornton territory. There should be no doubt they'll be going for it on 4 downs unless they lose more than 5 yards on any plays ensuing. Second down though and 10.
Generous spot on that play as he comes up with a no gain.
I formation, Elliott the tailback, Napolitano the full. Counter, Darling rolling out, passing out in the flat, overthrows McLeod. He was open as Portland was flooding the right zone. They had Rumpf, McLeod, and Alexander. 1, 2, 3 down the field. One from the 5 to 7 yard range, one from the 10 to 15, and one 20 to 25. And McLeod was wide open.
Darling blew it. I mean, you know, you hate to jump on the high school athlete and be so critical, but he had a wide open receiver and he just blew that pass. And maybe with a little more maturity next year, he won't do those kinds of things. That's definitely the kind of thing you've got to do when you're trying to come back. You've got to hit that man.
Third down and 10. Big play now for both teams. Portland getting the turnover off the kickoff. Fakes the handoff. Darling back to pass. Got time. Fires out in the flat. Just overthrown. A nice pass once again intended for McLeod. Just off his fingertips. Jim McLeod covering Joe McLeod. And we have an incomplete pass. And it looks like Portland is going to kick it away. Surprising in this situation, I would think, Jeff. Ball inside the 40-yard line. I would think Portland would go for it.
Yeah, I would expect them to come out with one of their razzle-dazzle screen plays of some sort, with being on the 39-yard line and 4th down and 10.
Thornton should definitely be leery of that. Portland is notorious over the years for their screen plays. I know, because when I played, they burned us on a big one late in the contest at Fitzpatrick Stadium. A high snap, fielded nicely though. The punt off, Samaras almost getting there. High kick. Fair catch at the 5-yard line. Boy, that's a tough play. Ryan Lasser maybe should have let that one bounce and hoped that it went into the end zone. But a tough call there because you don't know what kind of bounce you're going to get out of it. He makes the fair catch, and the ball is spotted at the 6-yard line.
That's a gutsy play right there anyway, to make that fair catch. I can recall standing down inside that 10-yard line and hearing the footsteps and blowing that fair catch. I've done that before, and because you're looking upfield. Nice play.
I had the misfortunes of only running back punts one contest, and it happened to be the last game of the year against Biddeford, arch rival Biddeford. They wanted to kill me as it was, and Coach Cody put me back there by myself every single time. It was my first time running him back all year. Shirozi was hurt, and Hewitt was in to block him every time, and I was back by myself, and boy, did they have a field day teeing up on me. I held my own back there, but they got some extra good hits on coming down and just crushing it. First down carry for Laveris. He picks up a strong 2. Second and a long 7 now for the Thornton offense, as their defense has held, playing well, stopping Portland after the turnover. Fakes the handoff. Langstaff on the counter, trying to get outside, gets around the corner, looking for that first down yardage, and turned out outside by, can't see the number 44, Dupre. Brian Dupre on the stop.
Rumpf over there as well.
Third down now in a long 2 for the Thornton offense. A decent pickup for Langstaff. They come with a power backfield. Karen McLeod with Laveris in the middle. Handoff Laveris, right side, breaking out there, dives forward. He's got the first down. Another superb run for Art Laveris.
They had to know that Art was going to get that football on that play. They just didn't know where, and Art doing a nice job slanting off the right side, picking up the necessary yardage as we have a Bulldog that's a little slow getting up.
Right in the middle of the field. Nine minutes, 29 seconds left, third quarter. Thornton Academy opened the second half with a turnover. Pickard on the return on the kickoff, coughed it up. Portland took over, but unable to get a first down. And Thornton Academy holding, getting the ball back, and now starting a drive from their own 6-yard line, picking up the initial first down. And player still down for Portland. Number 71, Steve Gorham.
Steve Gorham.
5'10", 200-pound senior. Gets up a little wheezy, and he's being escorted off the field. As we said, Portland has 7 players going both ways. Joe Johnson, number 50, in the middle. He's a junior. He plays center on the offense and nose guard on the defense, so he doesn't move too far either way. You got Elliott, Alexander, Napolitano, a host of players going both ways. Laveris on the carry, no gain up the middle. Johnson and Jamie Martin in on the stop for the Bulldogs.
And also David Rumsch.
Martin.
Jamie Martin comes up and puts his 200 pounds up at 225 pounds against Art Laveris for no gain for Art Laveris. A bit tough for Art to get through there. And Gorham has not come back. He is a two-way starter.
All right, so they'll have to fill his gap if he doesn't answer the bell on both sides of the line. Also going both ways is the tight end, defensive end, Joe McLeod, number 89. Second down and a long 10. Handoff, Langstaff up the middle, breaks through there nicely. A nice tackle underneath, though, by Napolitano. It looks like number 40 came in to jackknife his legs out. Actually, Dupre, 44. Nice job as he knifed the legs out from underneath Tom Langstaff. The wind continues to blow strong.
Well, that run looked really nice as it opened up. It looked like a nice hole through there. Up the middle for Langstaff, but still brings up a third down and a long 7.
Big play now for the Thornton offense. Gresty to the near side. He's the only guy out now. Langstaff goes in motion the other way. Fakes the handoff, broken play. Cook holds on to the football. He's lucky not to cough it up. And a broken play. It looked like Cook maybe went the wrong way.
Total confusion out there. It was hard to see what was happening as Troy Caron was headed downfield. Agresti headed downfield. Langstaff going the other way. Yeah, from here it looked like maybe Cook went right but should have went to the left.
But it could have been the other way around where
his players
his backfield went the wrong way. We don't really know, but this will bring up a 4th down and 7 punting situation. Langstaff back. Sole return man is Alexander. Nice snap. Good rush put on. Nice kick, though, for Langstaff. It's going to get a bounce. High one. Fielded, though, by Alexander. Right at 45. Cuts outside. Cuts back in. He gets popped nicely in on the stop. Guy Pickard and Nason. Chris Nason, number 85. And number 55, Guy Pickard. And Portland will take over. Excellent field position once again. Ball at midfield. Trailing by 14. Bulldogs trying to get some offense going.
35-yard punt and a 7-yard return.
Still 7:12 left. Pete's True Value Hardware scoreboard has us with Thornton Academy 14 and Portland nothing. Watching high school football on CTV 30, a BTV sports presentation. And once again, want to thank all our sponsors for helping us bring high school football into your living rooms. And when you see the ads and these people that do sponsor it, these are the people you want to go to when you need any of their products that they sell, because they are the ones helping out and they deserve all the business you can give them. Counter play this way. Good running room for Alexander. Cuts inside, brought down by Langstaff. He'll pick up 8 on the play, though. Scott Alexander getting, I believe, his first carry of the afternoon.
Well, the Bulldogs starting to mix it up, and they came out throwing the last series and had some open receivers, and now they come up with that counter play, giving to the wing back and kind of using their other backs, Elliott and Napolitano, to run a little decoy, and it's quite successful as now they have a 3rd down and a long 2.
2nd down and 2. Correct you on that. That was a 1st down play. Split backfield once again. Darling hands off to Napolitano, fighting over that left side to be very close to another Bulldog 1st down.
The pace, if the Bulldogs are content to run it on the ground, it favors the Trojans, as we now have half the 3rd period gone, inside the 6-minute mark, moving down. But they could surprise here with a 3rd down and short. I imagine they'll just go with the straight dive with Napolitano or Elliott.
3rd down and 1.
The pass play has looked good for them from the receiving end.
I formation. Elliott moving forward, gets a little hole, still fighting forward. He picked up 5 and a 1st down. Willett and Presby on the stop for TA.
along with Ed Presby. In on the stop, it's a first down.
Ball now just outside the 35-yard line of the Trojans. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Trying to get on the scoreboard. Beautiful, sunny, breezy afternoon at Hill Stadium in Saco.
Well, first down, an excellent down to throw, and I would not be surprised if the Bulldogs came out and tried to get some yardage on a pass play here.
Rumpf, number 81, split to the near side. Alexander wide left. Back to pass is Darling, looking downfield for his man. Agresti's got coverage, he falls down, and the receiver, Alexander, drops the pass on his knees. He wouldn't have got any more yardage, but he had the catch, a catch he should have made. Agresti got turned around and then fell down, and that was a big blown opportunity for the Portland offense.
Just when I was thinking that, yes, it's been the quarterback's fault for the failed passing attempts for the Bulldogs, he shows that Mr. Darling threw out a dead bird, but it was right there and should have been caught for the first down.
Severely underthrown, but Alexander responded to the football and got back on it as Agresti fell out of the picture, and he was on his knees for a catch. Wouldn't have got any more yardage, but would have picked up 16 in a first down, and he drops the football. A big break for the Trojans. 2nd down and 10 now. Darling rolling out to his right now. He's got pressure, throws it out, dishes it out, and a great attempt to catch that football by Elliott. Good pressure put on by DeRocher and Troy Karen. But another very close call.
Interesting here as the Bulldogs showing that they could be gaining some yardage on these pass plays, but coming up empty. Big breaks for the defense, and when the defense is clicking, these kinds of things happen for you, and now it's a big 3rd down play for the Bulldogs.
Well, the Thornton defense has been lulled into the non-passing type game, trying to defend the strong running game of Portland, and now when they go up top, catching a few people off guard and not ready for it. 3rd down and 10, though, I formation. Rumpf to the near side, Alexander in motion this way, trying to flood the right zone, it looks like. Handoff, though, up the middle with Napolitano, fighting off 1-man, 2-man, and he gets forward for a gain of about 7, but he'll be short of the first down. He'll bring up a 4th down and 3. A definite go-for situation for the Bulldog offense.
Oh, they certainly do, and I don't see any reason why they can't run that same play right up the middle. There's great effort in there by Napolitano, bouncing on his way through there, gaining extra yardage, and another Bulldog is hurt. That looks to be like Steve Simpson, the 6'4", 260 junior.
A very big left tackle for the Portland offense. That time running right up the middle behind center Joe Johnson was Napolitano. Got through there, broke a tackle, picked up a strong 6 yards. It will be, though, a 4th down and 4 situation for the Bulldogs. With 4:48 left, 3rd quarter, this is an opportunity Portland can ill afford to let go by the boards. Time will be a factor. Thornton Academy controlling the ball this afternoon very nicely on the ground, as they've had the football for the most part of this contest. The wind picks up at Hill Stadium, as it is Stinson, the man down.
Well, Steve Gorham made it back into the lineup, the one who went off earlier this quarter. And
well, as they help up Stinson, he'll hobble off the field. We're going to take a short pause. You're watching high school football on CTV 30. Jay Harper along with Jeff Harper back at Hill Stadium in Saco. Thornton Academy on top, 14-zip. Portland facing a big 4th down and 4 situation. Ball at the 29-yard line of the Trojans. Thornton Academy digs in defensively across the line. Troy Karen, 82. Justin Doobie, 76. 68, Ed Presby. Chris Paquette, the right defensive end. Willett. Lasur out there, pitch out this way. Elliott looking for the corner. Got Napolitano out doing the blocking. Turn inside, cuts back. Gonna be very close to a first down. Some good defense out there for the Trojans, and we'll see what kind of spot they give Elliott.
Jeff DeRocher did a great job of getting up there quick and shutting that outside down so that the inside pursuit could get in there. And it looks like they're gonna measure.
Very close out there.
No, they're saying first down the other way.
No, they're coming out with the chains. That was a very good defense play. It looked like Elliott had the corner. I was surprised he slowed up. I thought he was going to break all the way for the corner. Lasur out there turned it in a little bit. And DeRocher, as you said, got in on that one. And he's well short of the first down, as you can see from your vantage point, Jeff.
Defense holds, and I don't know how the refs could bring out the chains on that one, because the stick was near the line and the ball was a yard or two off the line.
Well, Coach Mike Bailey for Portland can request, if it's within a yard, he can always request the measurement.
Yeah,
and you have to answer that.
Yeah, it's less than a half a yard, as it turns out, the way they've spotted it.
And a big defensive play for Thornton Academy. Lasseur, DeRocher, and I didn't get the other numbers out there, but they turned Elliott in. Elliott fought hard for extra yards, but comes up just short. Thornton Academy takes over, leading by 14. High formation. Cook on the pitch, looking outside, pitches unwisely. Langstaff, what a great play. You won't hear about that one in the score book at the end of this contest, but that may have been one of the biggest plays so far. Langstaff juggled it, went up in the air and caught it, and loses a yard on the play, but doesn't get the turnover. And
unbelievable play
for
Langstaff. Of course, the pitch came a little bit too hard. Bounced off his hands, went straight up in the air. That could have been 6 the other way. A dangerous territory for that kind of play. The option was well covered by the Bulldogs on that play.
There was a man right on Langstaff as he juggled it and went high in the air, 5'7", but Tommy can get up in the air, and he makes the recovery. Second down and 11. Handoff Laveris, left side. Looked like he had a lot going, but shut down quickly by Portland. Napolitano, Jamie Martin, who else? And also Dave Rumpf, number 81. Looked like a big hole, but they close it down in a hurry, did the Bulldogs.
And it takes all three of them, too, and they know it, and they're closing in fast, and that was a wall for Art to hit. And
did you notice all three Portland players got up very slowly, especially Rumpf shaking himself up. All right, dished off another punishing blow. Third down now and 9. Cook going back to pass, looking over the middle, fires behind Chris Paquette. And Thornton used that play so well last year. This year just really hasn't been there. And that'll bring up a fourth down punting situation once again for the Thornton offense. So far in this half, not really able to do that much.
Just the black and blue that we talked about at the start of the show. A lot of hitting, and we've seen some guys going off the field, missing some plays, and boy, just a lot of hard smacking football.
3 minutes, 17 seconds left now in the third quarter. Around the rest of the league, we heard the score at half. Biddeford was up 20-3. No surprise at Massabesic up in Waterboro. But leading by 7 was Cheverus at the half, 7-0 over Lewiston. That's kind of a surprise, although a lot of people did pick Cheverus even without Whipple. Good clean snap, kick, end over end spiraling. Beautiful kick, booming kick, fielded at the 32 by Alexander. Cuts inside, outside, nice move. Back up through the middle, a flag goes down, he's still on his feet. Another man, and finally tackled out there by
Troy Karen. It looks like he had him by the ankles.
We might get a clipping call against Portland on that run back, and finally maybe Portland will be marked off for one. They've been, for the most part, penalty free throughout this contest.
Now they called it a hold on Portland, and that's very costly.
Portland would have had the ball at midfield once again, as they've enjoyed excellent field position so far in the second half. 46, 50-yard line, their 2 previous possessions. This time, though, with the penalty, they're going to be marked back and take over at their own 27-yard line.
So you could call it a 24-yard penalty because of point of infraction. Moves them back considerably.
A nice move by Scott Alexander, juked inside and cut outside.
They just gained 3 yards again from the initial spot. Now it's back to the 26-yard line.
First down and 10 for the Bulldog offense. They come out in the I formation. Alexander goes in motion the other way. Fakes the pitch out, handoff up the middle to Napolitano. Met right there in the middle, Justin Doobie. And another Trojan defender slow to get up. It looks like Pickard. No, it's actually Jeff DeRocher, 45. DeRocher again having solid game. Doobie doing well. Thornton Academy's defense has just really gelled the last 3 weeks, and you're really starting to believe in them. You know, you're still waiting for the big letdown, maybe the pass play or something, but you're starting to believe against the run defense. Thornton Academy has it going for them.
They could really use the confidence of a goose egg today, going in up against a big club next week at Marshwood.
Sure is a
really
big game.
have to.
Offsides on Portland. 2:09 left third quarter, and that'll take Portland back 5 more yards and set up a second down and 13. It has been a hard-fought battle, as we anticipated. Portland a much better team than they opened up the season against Biddeford with. They've come together, gotten better as the weeks has progressed. And the home field advantage has to be a big factor in this contest. Thornton Academy enjoying the home crowd. And not a bad crowd on hand considering Biddeford is playing up at Massabesic this afternoon, not able to get the Tiger fans over here to watch this one.
Looks just like a parental contingent for the Bulldogs over there.
And they're having offsetting offsides, it looks like. The offense and the defense both broke the neutral plane at the same time, so they'll offset each other. It'll be second down.
I don't know how you do
8.
that. Doesn't the offense draw the defense and by their movement and automatically be on the offense if they moved?
It can actually happen at the same time if Thornton breaks the plane at the same time a Portland player jumps. So no penalty. Do the second down over. Handoff deep to Elliott. Elliott trying to break outside. Nothing doing. Doobie, Jeff Saran, the first two to get up, down deep in there. To Rocher once again. We see his number come up. Looks like 35 Willett was also in the vicinity of that tackle. Minute 34 left now. Thornton Academy so far has the goose egg. Playing a great job, doing a great job defensively this afternoon. Third down now and a long 7 for Portland. They set up in the I formation. Alexander wide left. Darling fakes the counter play, looking downfield, rolling out, flipping it out to McLeod, just overthrown. I'd like to see Darling, if I was a Portland fan, would like to see him roll around back there a little more, give himself some more time. He's quick on the foot, and he could probably scramble out of the pocket and run downfield for 8 or 10. A couple of times he's had the opportunity this afternoon. But he's always stayed up on top, and it'll be a 4th down and 7. Portland will have to kick it away once again.
Well, they've definitely have not taken advantage of their passing situations. They dropped a pass, and of course Darling has misfired on his other pass attempts, but it's been there for them. They've had the open man.
0 for 6 on the afternoon is Portland. High snap, fielded nicely though. Pressure again. Samaras just misses blocking another one. Coming up to field that is Langstaff, and Thornton will get good field position.
Nice play, just comes right up and takes it. Gives him the ball at the 50-yard line, and with a minute to go in the third quarter, you would expect the Trojans here to put together that killing drive to put them away.
Crank up the offense. Their best field position of the second half, right at midfield. And Thornton Academy comes out with the O. Matt Cook gets under center BG Shabbat. High formation with parity to the near side, Agresti wide right. Handoff Laveris up the middle. He'll fight forward for 2 on the play.
That was a straight dive play all the way, called for Art Laveris. Punish it right through and picks up a 2 or 3.
Willett now brings in the play as the wind starts to pick up. 30 seconds now left in the third quarter. We'll see if TA will get this play off. Thornton really needs to go after something. They pick up 1 first down, and then they're in 4-down territory and can really work the offense and work the ground game. High formation with Willett in the slot position. Agresti wide right. Handoff to Langstaff out of the backfield, cuts inside. He'll pick up a first down. He's still fighting. Little Tommy Langstaff pounds forward for a gain of 12 on the play, and a Thornton Academy first down, and beautifully done for Mr. Langstaff, and he does set up the scenario. 4-down territory now for the Trojans. They can really grind it out on the ground and use the clock.
What quickness from Tom Langstaff. A hole that maybe you could drive a mountain bike through. He just scooted right through.
And that's the end of the third quarter. Thornton Academy got the football. They're on the move and leading by 14. Our Pete's True Value Hardware scoreboard. Thornton Academy Golden Trojans 14. The Portland High Bulldogs 0. We're back right after this with the 4th and final quarter. Back at Hill Stadium, Jay Harper and Jeff Harper for the final stanza. Thornton Academy enjoying the 2-touchdown lead and on the move in Portland territory. Ball at the 34-yard line. Before we get back into the action, Jeff, just like to get your thoughts about the performance of the Red Sox this week. Doing it against Chicago, winning the 2 out of 3, winning the division, and now facing the Oakland A's tonight at home against the powerful Athletics.
Well, it's all controlled by TV, and as a great boost for the Channel 38. The Red Sox win on the last game of the season. They postponed the series to start tonight. I don't think the Red Sox really have a prayer in the 7-game series against the A's. They are outmatched in nearly every department you can think of.
But that's what I like about this series, that they're so outmatched, and they're coming in this year with more firepower. 2 years ago in '88, when they got swept by the Athletics, they backed their way in. They lost their 6 out of their last 7 and still won the division. This year, though, they had to win their remaining games. They won 6 out of the final 8. They're coming in with a lot of spirit, a lot of pride, a lot of emotion. I think it's going to be a different series this time around. I don't know if they'll win, but I think they're definitely going to give them a run for their money.
Well, if Clemens is going to beat him, he's got to pitch a shutout, and that's the only way he's going to beat Stewart.
First down and 10 for the Trojans. Start the 4th quarter. First play, handoff Troy Karen in the lineup, and big number 82 fights forward for a gain of about 2 on the play.
Troy Karen on the carry.
Langstaff getting a little breather, it appears.
Stuff to the play by Ray Ridge. Ball just shy of the 30.
Second down now,
About 7.
and a long 7. Parity late into the lineup, and now he goes out wide, and Troy Karen comes off. Langstaff back in as well. I formation, Avaris Langstaff. Cook on this option, slips down, and he'll pick up maybe a half a yard. Looked like there was a little bit of running room for Cook, but he slipped as he tried to make his cut. Matt was really running the option well early in the first half, finding good yardage for himself, but in the second half and late in the second period, it was all Art Laveris.
Now we have another Portland defender down on the field. That looks like number 86, Ray Ridge. Senior, 5'10".
Not sure of the number. Getting back to the Red Sox, Jeff, it should be a different series, and the big thing is you see Stewart against Clemens tonight. I would have loved to seen Morgan gamble and throw a kicker against a Stewart and just hope for the best and maybe pull one out, an upset, and then even if you do lose, you got Clemens, your stopper, coming back in game 2. I don't think Roger's going to be able to throw 3 times in this series with the shoulder problem. I don't think he can do 1, 4, and 7 if they do go to 7. So I would just gamble, go 2 and 5 with Clemens, and maybe, get the first game under your belt and then come back and win 2 in a row and head to Oakland up 2-0. I mean, that would be a big gamble, but Clemens is 1 and 5 lifetime against Stewart, and he just doesn't have the luck and success against a Dave Stewart.
And it's unfortunate that they couldn't have clinched a little earlier, and they could have saved Mike Boddicker, and then he would have been available to start today, and then Clemens tomorrow night. The convenient scheduling of the game being tonight at Fenway Park so that the ultimate maximum audience could be viewing.
A bizarre scheduling. They go with the 2 night games on Saturday and Sunday in Boston, and then they go out to the West Coast and they play a night game on Wednesday. I mean, an afternoon game, excuse me. They go Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and then Thursday night. Why the Wednesday afternoon game? Because probably the National League. But, TV dollars just plays such a big part of professional sports. It's a shame, though. I mean, an afternoon
well, they
game.
call all the shots, basically. They've got the unbelievable revenue that is generated off television, and they can definitely pick their best times to get the contest, get the maximum crowd. And of course, that benefits everyone here today because they can see the Trojans this afternoon, and if they are a Red Sox fan,
Which
they can
I'm
go.
sure the place is just full of them. Definitely.
Yeah, they can go and catch the game tonight. And all across America, people watching high school and college football games will not be cheated out of their baseball.
And it is
see him tonight.
Ray Ridge, it looks like, being carried off the field. It's probably a leg injury of some sort. 1-1 Cincinnati-Pittsburgh. I still like Pittsburgh in that series. It's just a lot of excitement in New England. A great final game of the season. Tom Bernansky, give that man a lot of credit, what he did against Toronto and then what he did against Chicago. That catch at the end was very dramatic. And of course, the Red Sox in '86, they never do anything easy. This time winning the division, but not making it easy. 2 outs, 2 strikes, base hit batsman, and then 2 strikes, and Guillen drills that down the right field line. If Bernansky doesn't catch that, it's tied at 3 and possibly a runner at third.
Yes, but before that catch gets enshrined into the Hall of Fame, I'd just like to say that any right fielder worth his salt is going to have that catch in his back pocket. It was a dramatic play for the last out of the season for the Red Sox to win it all, and a great play for Bernansky, especially since he's had some tough times out there during the season.
Third down now for the Trojans. Handoff Laveras, right side, nothing doing. The wind kind of now shifting ever so slightly. If it's going any way besides across the field, it's going from left to right. I wonder, that would be a heck of a long field goal, but boy, I still love to see Thornton Academy try things like this. So exciting to see the field goal being put into high school football in the state of Maine. It's been around the rest of the country for a lot of years, especially great states of high school football, Texas, Ohio, and Florida, but finally making its way towards the state of Maine. But they are going for it. 4th down and 7. Power backfield. Karen comes in motion. Fakes the handoff. Cook rolling out. He's got time. Looking downfield deep. There's Paquette. He's out there, blocked away at the last minute. Once again, just so slightly underthrown by Matt Cook. Paquette had his man beat in an apparent 6, but getting back and a hand on it looked like Darling, the quarterback, playing in the defensive secondary, and Portland will take over the ball at their own 30-yard line. It was there.
A great play call right there, 4th down, go for all the marbles. Paquette wide open for a long time. The pass just underthrown.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs, 10:22 left.
Maybe just a half a second too long to set that pass up. That pass should have been let go maybe a little bit sooner.
And just got the hand on it. And Paquette was open. He had to slow down and try to wait for it a little bit. You'd love to see Matt overthrow a couple by a few yards and really let his receivers get into it. Darling back to pass, looking downfield, overthrown. Agresty's back, picks it off. Got one man to beat, pitch it out. I'd love to see the man stay there and try to pitch it.
I can't believe there's no whistle yet.
Really?
We're having a little pony back ride out here.
Craig Agresty's just standing there trying to let the motion stop the play, forward progress, and the official's just standing there not blowing a whistle, and that's just, again, I hate to be so critical of officials. Actually, I don't. I enjoy it, but I try not to. But that's just poor officiating. Someone could get hurt in that situation. That ball should have been blown dead 5 seconds before he finally whistled it down.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but meanwhile, while you're asking for that whistle to be blown, you're begging Craig Agresty to pitch the ball. Well, so if he had pitched the ball, then the whistle would have been blown, right? If he'd pitched it, they would have blown the whistle.
Right,
no doubt about it.
The player that was there trying to block, if he would have stepped back 2 things, I think Craig might have tried for it. First down, handoff Laveras, breaking out the left side. Got a little bit of running room, cutting inside. He'll pick up 9 on the play. Nice run, Art Laveras.
Mike Dante did great tenacity, hanging on to Art Laveras for some help, or else we were off to the races once again.
And setting up that scenario again, right at the initial outset of the pickoff, when he got wrapped up, I wanted to see Craig pitch it real quick. And if the Thornton Academy defender, or now offensive player with the interception, would have just stepped back, he could have made it. But then he stepped forward looking for the block, was nowhere around. So at that time, Craig was just letting him, trying to be down, waiting for the whistle. And he kept pulling him, and he's dancing and pulling him. Handoff Laveras, he'll get the first down.
What I meant by that was that if he had pitched it, they would have blown the whistle. I mean, just by the unbelievable turn of events, they would have probably said, no, he was down.
And you're probably right. No, but I try so hard now, being a professional broadcaster, that I consider myself to not get so critical of officiating and of coaching decisions, but sometimes you just, especially the officials, I mean, they are paid people. They're out there being paid. I know they're only at the high school level, but a lot of these officials have been doing it for 10 to 20 years. And there's just been some poor calls this afternoon, and I can't help but question some of them. And I'm sure everyone that will watch this at home will also leave this stadium feeling the same way this afternoon, wondering why some of the calls were made or weren't made.
Well, every fan, that's in his heart. You've got to see the play and wonder when and when not a call is made. And we're all critical of, should be critical of everything that we see.
Flagstaff out of the I formation, getting the call at tailback, picking up 3 on the play. Clock definitely becoming a factor. The Bulldogs trailing by the 2 touchdowns. If Thornton Academy can control the football for another 5 minutes, this one might be all but over for the Bulldogs.
It's how you criticize, you know, as long as you're not a European soccer fan and get mad at the official
Exactly.
and try to kill the guy.
Exactly.
Voice your displeasure and get on with the game.
That's right. Cook on the option, gets the pitch out nicely to Langstaff, cuts inside, but being met there by Napolitano and Jamie Martin. Boy, Jamie Martin's going to be one of the best defensive players we've seen all year.
He's always there, and of course Mark Dowling now seeing a lot of action out there. He's quick coming up, and Bulldogs seem to definitely have the pitch taken away. The only part of the option we've seen successful has been Matt Cook holding on to it.
Really, because it hasn't been the option that Laveras has broken off his big gainers. It's been that slight counter back the other way out of the fullback spot. Third down now, ball at midfield. We'll call it 7. Cook going back to pass, looking into Parody, throws it high. Parody gets hit hard right as the ball comes in. A great play by Dupre. Timed that one perfectly. And a 4th down punting situation once again for the Trojans. So second half, Portland's done a good job defensively.
That would have been a beautiful situation for the stop and go, as Parody being out there in the flat, the pump fake and then head down. Parody was open out there. Nonetheless, pass was a little bit high.
And well defended by Dupre as he timed that one up. Langstaff once again back to do the punting. Sole man to return is Scott Alexander, the sophomore. 5'8", 155-pounder. Good clean snap. Ball's away. Kevin Goldbeal doing the snapping, number 11. Does a good job snapping those punts. Ball bounces out of bounds at the 21-yard line. A short kick for Langstaff. We'll give him a 30-yard boot.
Boy, is that a missed mark down there as he's way up to the 23.
Sure was. That rolled out at the 21.
Game of inches, you know, a couple of yards, it means something.
7:36 left. Thornton Academy enjoying a 2-touchdown lead. At Laveras, a 45-yard touchdown run, and then followed it up with 25 seconds left in the half with an 82-yarder and kicked both extra points good. Elliott on the run. Goldbeal out there on the stop, number 11.
On the carry, Kevin Goldbeal on the
Doug Willett doing a fine job of turning that in.
Once again, at the conclusion of this contest, we'll be picking the gutsy players of the game. So far offensively, there's no question who's going to get it today. But defensively, there's been 3 or 4 big people doing a great job. Guy Pickard, again, he's received one before. Doug Willett doing an outstanding job. Justin Doobie, also strong performance today. Counterplay, Alexander, nothing. There's Doobie, and down below him, we'll check the number, is another Thornton player. Doobie in on the stop.
Pickard, maybe? No,
It's Troy Karen. And he hasn't done too shabby out there on the defensive side today either.
Well, they're going to have to try a lot of different things next week against that big Marshwood team. You got to expect them to come up and throw the football against Marshwood, and they've got to try some different stunts to stop that running game with Marshwood having a very big front line.
Well, the good thing about today's performance, if Marshwood is scouting Thornton Academy, they're not seeing the passing attack, which we know Thornton does possess. Matt Cook can just lead his receivers a little more, which he has done on a couple occasions. Fakes the pass, a screen being set up to the right. Napolitano's got a lot of running room out there. He breaks inside, look out, he could go all the way. Agresti chasing him, gets a handle on him and brings him down. And Napolitano, a very speedy back, but Agresti had the angle. And also Guy Pickard, I'll tell you what, Guy Pickard possesses some outstanding speed that you wouldn't think of a big kid his size. He got in on the stop, and last week on the touchdown pass to Scott Campbell by Breen Fowler, Pickard almost closed that gap down at the last second, did a good job at making up a lot of ground.
Great pursuit out there by Pickard as he kept trailing on the backside, and Craig Agresti getting a hold, getting his arms around him. Pickard finishing him off.
Well, a big gain on the play, and that'll set up a 1st down and 10 at Thornton Academy's 41-yard line. Handoff to Elliott. Elliott breaks off the right side. He's got some running room. He'll pick up 8. And Portland's still not out of it yet. 5:43 left. If they get in rather quickly in this drive, it'll be a dogfight to the wire.
It's very key that they were able to snuff that big gainer where they did, because still a big 33 yards away from the end zone for the Bulldogs with time running down, and Trojan defense definitely has the clock on their side.
Gobiel's got to hurry off the field as Paquette came in to replace him late. 2nd down and 2, I formation. Some movement on the right side for Portland, no call. Counterplay, fake, Darling looking downfield, rolling out. He could run it again, passes out wisely, and a good defensive play by Langstaff. Again, if Darling puts the ball down under his wing and takes off, he's gaining 7, 8, and who knows with some quick moves what he could do. But still throwing the ball.
Definitely could have had the first down on that play, and he's just a junior, and there's a lot of things you've got to learn out there. And one of them is, you know, where the ball is and how much yardage you need, and the best option available.
3rd down and 2. I formation for the Bulldogs. Handoff up the middle, Elliott. He'll fight forward and get the first down. Good running right up the middle.
Yeah, stop the clocks just to move the chains. We are right at the 5-minute mark, and the Trojan defense is getting tested once again.
And they have played a lot more in the second half than they did in the first half. On the field, much more time. And Thornton Academy does shuffle some players in and out on defense, so there are some rested players, but there are also some tired bodies, it looks like, out on the field. 1st and 10. Fakes the counter, Dowling looking this way, sets up the screen, it's to McLeod. McLeod, one man to beat. Agresti gets down low and makes the tackle along with help from 68, Ed Presby.
He's a big kid, 6'2", 200, Joe McLeod, number 89. That screenplay looked good for a second, but staying at home was Craig Agresti to make the stop.
Portland loves their screen passes throughout their years. They've run them oh so successfully. Gain of 5, that'll bring up 2nd down and 5. 4:13, clock moves. Split backfield with Elliott and Napolitano. Alexander out to the side, it looks like along with Dante. Handoff that way to Elliott. Out there's McLeod, but he breaks the tackle. Cuts outside, he'll get the first down. Jim McLeod had him stopped in the backfield, but Elliott broke the tackle and got forward for a gain of 7. And another first down for the Bulldogs. Thornton Academy keeps them inbounds, so the clock will move. Ball inside the 20-yard line now. Clock, a factor.
Shows you how tough Mike Elliott is, the senior, 5'7", 175 pounds, moving out on the right side. McLeod had him stopped for a loss, and he just busted that tackle, picks up the first down.
5'7", and you're weighing 175 pounds. You got yourself a big, strong body frame. 1st and 10, fakes the pitch out, back to pass. Darling looking over the middle, fires down in there to McLeod, broken up nicely in the middle. Coming in, looks like Jeff Saran also getting help by Craig Agresti. Well defended. That ball was ever so close to being a reception and a first down inside the 10-yard line.
I think Craig Agresti was the big cog right in that play as he came through and swatted it down.
Lasser now coming in for Saran. Saran hobbles off the field. 2nd down and 10. Ball inside the 20-yard line. Thornton Academy uses a timeout. Wow. That's a big timeout. 3:36, you want that clock to wind. And you never know what's going to happen in this one if Thornton Academy might need timeouts later on, but they use one, and with 3:36 left in this contest, Thornton Academy on top, 14-0. We're going to take a short pause. You're watching high school football on CTV 30.
Well, Jay, you know that defensive unit right now maybe caught a little off guard, and with Saran coming off injured, take a timeout, rest up, get ready. Let's preserve this shutout. Let's hold on and get ourselves together here. Time is definitely on the side of the Trojans.
Well, that was definitely the cause of the first, the timeout, was Saran being hobbled. They had to send Lasser in late. Lasser wasn't set up defensively, so maybe wisely in that situation using the timeout. You hate to see it because you want the clock to wind. Now Portland will have a free play with no clock moving off until the ball is actually snapped. 3:36 left. Portland inside the 20-yard line, facing a big 2nd down. Still a lot of time in this one. Portland not out of it yet. Thornton Academy's defense has done the job all afternoon. They're being asked to answer it once again. 2nd down and 10. Darling, handoff up the middle, counter play. Breaking inside is Elliott, and holding on by the ankles is Willett. Boy, what a nice tackle. He held on for dear life and stopped Elliott for a gain of only 2 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Thornton Academy trying to hold on, get the shutout, get the W more importantly. That is the most important factor. Thornton Academy has to go to 4-2 and go down to Marshwood next week and have a great game and set up a 6-2 finish against arch rival Biddeford, a chance to get in the playoffs. Back to pass is Darling, rolling out, throwing inside, and it's knocked away nicely.
Ooh.
Good play by Tom Langstaff, number 22. That ball was right there. Darling has started to find his targets better.
The whole look of that play, you give the ref a chance to throw that flag, and it was real close. And anything close has seemed to draw that flag lately, but Trojans come away with it and now have the 4th down.
Well, this is it for Portland. If they don't get the first down here, we're going to X this one off in the W column. Portland has to get the first down and keep themselves in this one. 4th down and 8. I formation, 2 men wide right. Napolitano, the fullback, Elliott the tail. Fakes the counter, Darling rolling out. He's going to run the football as we wanted to all year, but net out there. Laveras, it looks like, crunching him out of bounds. He does it on the O, and he does it on the big 4th down play on the D.
Boy, sneaky, sneaky. Yes, it looked like a lot of green out there for Darling. Art Laveras comes up equal to the task and drops him.
He crushed him, and that's what we were hoping to see from the Portland standpoint. I mean, it's been open all afternoon for Darling to run that football out of the passing formation. That time he tucked it in and went, but a great play by Laveras, stopping the 4th down play. Thornton Academy takes over, 2:51 left, and a 2-touchdown lead, 1 or 2 first downs, and this one's over. I formation, Parity comes to the near side, Agresti wide left. Hand off Laveras, bread and butter. He'll pound forward for a gain of 2. Laveras has gained close to 200 yards on the afternoon, 2 touchdowns, 2 PATs, 2 of the finest runs you'll ever see in high school football by number 33. I can't wait to watch him again myself. My hat's off, although I never wear a hat, to Art Laveras and his performance today.
And we begin to see some of the fans starting to leave here today, is thinking that this contest is under control.
2nd down and 7. Hand off Laveras, fighting in the middle. He'll get very little. Coach Agresti can't be too conservative. You'd like to see him punch out 1 first down. Portland uses a timeout, I believe. And it is charged to Portland with 2 minutes, 3 seconds left. We'll take another break. Our Pete's True Value Hardware scoreboard, Thornton Academy 14, Portland Bulldogs 0. We're back right after this. Back at Hill Stadium in Saco, Jeff Harper and Jeff Harper. Thornton Academy defense, actually offense out on the field, getting a water break by manager Nick Scontras. And Thornton Academy trying to hold on, get their shutout and get the W. Next week's game against Marshwood, traveling down to Kittery, a very, very big matchup in high school football.
Elliott.
Technically Elliott, yes. 2:03 left right now, a 3rd down and 7. Of course, Coach Agresti has to really keep this on the ground, but maybe trying a little counter or something different. Fool up, and a 1st down wraps this one up. Power backfield, handoff Laveras, left side, fights forward, gets about 2, and that'll be a punting situation once again for the Trojans. Portland uses another timeout. They want as much time on the clock as they can get. Kind of can't blame them in that situation. They just gave the score to Cheverus Lewiston. I think it was Cheverus 15-8 over Lewiston. I'm pretty sure that is, and if that is the score, it must be either a final or real close to being one. And a surprise of sorts. Cheverus might stay undefeated and be a tough loss for the Devils, the Blue Devils, as they've only had 1 this year. Of course, we saw that exciting ball game. A field goal late by Art Laveras, beat him 24-23. Laveras puts another 14 points on his scoring in his 2 short seasons. Just outstanding performance by a running back and the offensive line once again for Thornton Academy. Doing a great job John Maynard, Sean Toussaint, B.G. Chabot, the center, Guy Pickard, the right guard.
Now 1 man deep for Portland, and looks like they're going for it as Scott Alexander stands back at his 36-yard line.
Long count again for Langstaff. And finally, they're going to get a delay of the game. I guess attempting to draw Portland offside with the 4th and just under 5, it would have given them enough for the first down.
Nobody budging on that Portland side. I would imagine a real quick snap this time. Very little count. Just giving the defense time to look around, and then the snap.
Of course, mentioning in the offensive line for Thornton Academy, number 53, Jason Maurice. High snap, fielded nicely by Langstaff. That's a great thing about him back there. He's such a fine athlete. Booming kick. Alexander fields it nicely, though, at his 39-yard line. Cuts to the left, cuts to the right, breaks 2, 3 tackles, back to the other side and stopped by who else? Our little big man, George Samaras.
Alexander on a return.
Another great job on the special teams for Samaras. Looked like he missed the tackle initially, got back up and got in on the stop. Alexander, he does a great job fielding those punts. That was a booming high kick. Fielded cleanly and broke 3 tackles and gets the ball out to the 46-yard line.
Well, get your horses out in the defensive secondary for the Trojans. I can't see too many running plays left in the Portland selection.
Shotgun formation. Darling back to pass, looking downfield. Fires over the middle, overthrown, in and out of the hands of McLeod, covered by Doug Willett.
That pass isn't going to do it for you anyway. Even if he got that pass in there, it wasn't even first down material. We're coming up, it's a minute and a half left in this game. I think they've got to look into the special playbook for the razzle dazzle.
Clock stops with the incomplete pass, 1:31 left. Shotgun formation again for the Bulldogs. Darling looking downfield, fires out to the right, a little breakout, and very close to pass interference by Langstaff, but he got the hands off in time.
Langstaff in on a coverage, 3rd down.
3rd down now and 10. Portland, 2 plays left in their repertoire if they can't complete one for a first down.
Well, the exclamation point for this Trojan defense could come with an interception and a score here. That play out in the danger zone. Although Darling putting a lot on that pass to get it out there. He does seem to be able to throw it hard when he wants to.
Portland more or less has played themselves an outstanding football game. The 2 long runs, but they've been in this one. They played hard, and they're a good football team. This was an excellent game this afternoon. The quick screen out this way to Alexander. Alexander cuts inside, collared by Willett. Wow, what a nice play defensively for number 35. Come from behind, jumped out, grabbed the shoulder pad, and pulled him down.
And DeRocha adding some extra support on the play, and Alexander looking up to the ref like, late hit. No dice.
4th down now and 6 for the Bulldogs. This is their last gasp. 58 seconds, clock winds. I formation, you might see a quick little handoff up front. No, Darling back to pass. Got plenty of time, fires over the middle, tip, and incomplete. But Thornton Academy will take over with the 48 seconds left. And this one now is officially over. Thornton Academy, a solid performance, both offensively and defensively. A big game, a must-win game for the Trojans. They now will move to 4-2. Portland will fall to 3-3. And now the team still in the playoff picture hunt will be teams like Marshwood, South Portland, and Thornton. Big game next week. I don't know. Boy, that's a big task for Thornton to travel down to Elliott and take on the Big Hawks at home. But boy, this team is playing good football, and I hope they come as fired up as they did this afternoon. 1st and 10, the counter play to McLeod, and McLeod gets a carry, and he'll fight for a couple. You know that kid's a tough one. And he picks up 2 on the play. 38 seconds and rolling. Marshwood playing Sanford this afternoon. We anticipate a win for Marshwood, but you never know. That could be somewhat of a rivalry down there that will start now.
Well, they're definitely close together geographically, but
Sanford will have to play much better.
Football programs are light years apart.
Yeah, Sanford will have to play much better than they did last week against Thornton. Laveris on a carry, runs the man over, and guess who it is? Scott
I
Alexander.
wonder if he has something personal against Mr. Scott Alexander. He went after him.
Sure did.
Knocked him on his keister.
And that great one we saw, and that's it. Checking Alexander, he's only a sophomore, not in the same class as Laveris, so they didn't play together as freshmen in Portland. This one's over. Thornton Academy, a very sound football game this afternoon as they beat the Portland Bulldogs 14-0. Both teams now meeting at the center of the field, getting the congratulatory shake of the hand. And a great performance by the Trojans. They now move to 4-2. Jay Harper and Jeff Harper on CTV 30. We're going to take a short pause as both teams do the high fives across the field. We'll be back to give you our gutsy players of the game and our Biddeford Tire play of the game. It can only be one of two plays, and that'll be a tough choice to pick. But we're back right after this on CTV 30.